started. Does anyone want to get out?
All right, folks, this is a Friday night open session. Since Art's not rolling, I decided to go ahead and open up the panel and open up the session for people to come on and talk and say whatever they got to say. Okay, as long as it's respectful. Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. Okay, if you want to come up, I'm gonna tell you, you don't have a right to talk on my panel. For niggas in the back, you do not have a right to talk on my panel. It's a privilege. Like if I invite you into my home, it's a privilege to be invited into my home. Okay, you have to act like a guest. That's what I expect. If you want to come on some kind of beef and start throwing chairs and pissing on my floor, I'm gonna get you out of here. Okay. If you want to talk like you an adult, like I think when if I look at my metrics, like 80% of my people are between the ages of 35 and 55. That means you're a middle-aged adult. Okay, and coming acting like teenagers, okay, or even acting like women. 90 was it 95% of my subs are male. Don't need no female energy, okay? If you want to come on and fuss at your man because the moon is high and you're on your period, don't need you here. So, but first off, I'm just going to answer some questions, and I'll put up my 2-minute timers up there. If you just want to say some shit and get some shit off your chest, as long as it's respectful, without going back and forth, it's not a discussion. I'll give you your 2 minutes, say what you got to say, and thank you, and we'll move along. Okay, I'm not gonna go back and forth and argue about what you. I want to say what I got to say. Say what the fuck you got to say. Take your 2 minutes. Ask for your 2 minutes. Say what you got to say. We'll move on. Okay. I'm not interested in arguing with you. Well, if there's something that's a topic to discuss, I'll discuss it with you. Well, but that's an exchange, not this shit that I want to say what I gotta say, and you interrupted me. I can interrupt you all I want. It's my channel. If I want to interject, ask a question, it's my channel. Second thing, I'm not here to be on trial. Okay, it's open session. I'm not here to be on trial. So if you're bringing up some old shit from 5, 6 years ago that you want to know about, this ain't the time to do it. Okay. If you want to discuss something, a difference of opinion, I'm open to that. Okay, I always been. But make it clear, make it succinct, and not get all your whatever angst that you have about the manosphere section, about this. All I want to hear all that shit. Okay, get to the point, make it clear. We have a back and forth. Get to some kind of whatever it is, some kind of understanding, and we'll move on. Okay. Now, if you got a real big gripe that needs my attention, and I think it's my attention, I got to email. Email me. I have you on by yourself. Then we can expand the topic if necessary. Okay. Anyhow, Afro National with the $5. Happy birthday, Elder. To more health and wealth. Appreciate you. Okay. Appreciate you. I am honored. I am honored and I'm humbled. Appreciate you. Uh, Adrix in the house. Prince is in the house. Louis in the house. AB's in the house. Inspired Truth. Micah L. Prince. Christopher. Gabar. Michael round two. Andre Little Maple Leaf, what's up? Afro National. Paul, what's happening? I might not be fast enough to be first, but I'm here. So Michael Anthony, what's going on? Leon, what's going on? Tooth Triv, what's up, man? Art of Itmore. Doughboy, what's happening, man? Are you off or are you at work? Hurricane Greg, Daniel, and Dead Set. What's up, Dead Set? Be dispassionate. You can be passionate, but the thing is, even passionate people can discuss things, okay? And be succinct, okay? Even passionate people. Sam C, what's up? Happy birthday, young man, for the Kessie. Man, I had a good one last night, man. Oh, it was good. It was good. I wish there were more uh, Guatemalan women actually cooking because they actually make it better. But the men get down. They can get down. So they just finished the fit. Oh shit. Okay. Lasat economist. What's going on from Amsterdam? How's things going, man? How's the inflation there, man? With all this bullshit going on. How's the inflation rate? How people holding up? Um, hope how what are the stores full? Can you guys are you guys dealing with the inflation because the inflation here, man, is getting out of pocket real quick. So you guys, I'll take questions from the chat for about I would say about good 10 minutes, then we'll open it up. And if this is for some of the so-called detractors, okay, if you really need one-on-one time, I can give you 10 minutes. I'll drop everybody down and have a chat with you. But I'm not going to take an hour or two to go back and forth with you, okay? Time is limited, and I'm not going to take, sometimes I used to do that. You'd take 30 minutes to talk to somebody, and everybody else has to wait in line. I'm not going to do that. Get to your fucking point. Just like as a call-in show, get to your point, make it clear. And if you want to have grievances about something else, hey, email me if you want to be on by yourself, okay? And I'll consider it. Because when I put people's name in it, they don't show up. Happy birthday here on the birthday. Why? Anyway, birthday tacos. Actually, birthday was last week, so but I don't make a big deal out of it. You're gonna watch Boys House of the Dragon. The Boys I want to have to catch up on because I've seen only one episode of The Boys. Just not even male Negroes generally manage their emotions very well because we are part of the gynocracy, sir. We're not taught to. Blessing to all on this Father's Day weekend. Basically, you're a square or you're emotionless um, if you are stoic. Stoicism is not well represented or well welcomed inside of the gynocracy. They like the guys that fire back and forth and get petty and all that kind of stuff because that's what excites them. We're there to entertain them. That kind of pettiness, cat fighting entertains females. It doesn't entertain males. But things to entertain them, they teach us to go back and forth, just like they do the little girls. Explain to me then. I have no idea what the fuck you talking about, D. Okay. D, don't start that shit today, man. D, don't start that shit, man. D, because they already don't like you, okay, in this space. Okay? I heard a whole lot of people with a whole lot of wrenches that want to eliminate you. So don't start that shit. Okay? Respectfully. All right. I guess I need wrenches. All right, because I don't have a lot of moderators on this because it's a fairly new channel. So a little maple leaf. Okay, most of you guys probably can get a wrench. Art of Itmore. Hurricane Greg. Where is Ed? Ed is moderator. All right. And AB Media. Ed is moderator. All right. All right. The thing is, man, basically it's a new channel. Man, I don't want to block people. Come on, y'all. Nah, I mean, you come in with this crap, man. Don't do this to my chat, man. I'm doing this because I normally don't get to open up the sessions anymore like I used to, right? Because I'm actually on other people's panels, but I do it for my patrons all the time. So I decided to do it, and this is how you guys gonna act. Come on now, come on, y'all. You're not late. You're not that late. So, any questions before? Bam, guns loaded, ready for targets. So anyway, y'all, you got questions that you guys that we didn't get to in the other sessions, or you guys just want to go right to the panels? Give me one. Give me one if you actually want to go right to the panels. Give me two if you actually want to ask questions first. My favorite channel on YouTube be just cursing people. Yeah, I try not to do it on the other channels. Okay, I try not to do it on the other channels, but thing is sometimes, sometimes some people don't feel you unless you cuss them out. I had to learn that when I was supervising, right? Um, and sometimes they couldn't they heard me, they understood me, but they didn't feel me. And some, especially women, they got to feel you, and sometimes you got to curse them out. Everybody want Mr. Donnie Mac, ask your question, okay? Because we got all these ones, so they want the panel open. So that's what we's going to do. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get the party started. We're going to go maybe a couple of hours. And so if you got something to say, you want to get in and get your point across, or have something to say, or fellowship, whatever you want to do, there's your link. I said I'm up for more dark news on Patreon. In fact, I got to do one for Patreon. It's actually uh, uh, a response to a Duran video where they actually interviewed a guy from the Middle East, and he was saying the exact same shit about Gaza and Israel that I said almost a year ago, back in October, almost verbatim. So the thing is, the stuff that what I told you guys were ahead of the curve, right? So now the curve is catching up to you. I asked on the other channel, does Gnosticism have a tie to Satanism? Okay, Gnosticism is hidden knowledge. So guess what? It also has a tie to what? Satanism is a part of it, okay, of Gnosticism. Guess what is also a part of it? Catholicism, Buddhism, Islam, Shinto, Zen, okay, a bunch of other African religions, okay? So it's also Gnosticism means nothing except knowing, which is hidden knowledge, okay? So I don't know what you are talking about. Basically, there's so-called Satanism in everything, including the Catholic Church. Where do you think it comes from? What is up for your Sunday patron? I don't know. It basically going to be open session because I didn't do it last weekend because my daughter took me out for my birthday last Sunday. So
Nice.
this Sunday, it's going to be open. I'm thinking about doing a film watch, a film watch on Polly Murray. I am Polly Murray. They actually did a documentary because she's an important figure. She's the original Jane Crow that mixed feminism with civil rights. So I actually want to do a review on her. So I might do that tomorrow. So I'm gonna start putting a lot more stuff onto Patreon. A lot of stuff I want to react to as far as videos that are political that I probably shouldn't do on my regular channel. I'm probably putting it on as a reaction video on Patreon. So
Okay.
we'll try it at the regular tier, and if it gets more involved, then we'll make it a $10 tier. Depends. We'll see. So some of the dark news that I can't talk about because this administration is pretty sensitive, I probably would do it elsewhere. Okay. All right, you guys, jump in. What
Hey, what's
time?
going on,
Hey,
BGS?
the Patreon will normally be like 4 o'clock PST, somewhere around
Yeah,
there.
it's around 7 o'clock my time.
Yeah, about 7 o'clock your time.
Oh, I'm doing all right. Just sitting here reading the Slave Coast.
Oh,
Going
the
through the
American Slave
Slave
Coast.
Coast. American
Okay,
Slave Coast.
it's
Yep.
a long ass book, man.
I know because
But
I'm a
but
history
but
person.
but it details a lot of stuff that went on, including how the internal slave trade got started and why
Hmm.
they ended the external slave trade in 1808
Yep.
because they wanted to make money. All this stuff revolves about making money.
It's called money.
Yeah, that's what we talked about the the secessionist movement during the Civil War, which wasn't a new thing, okay, which was not a
Mm-hmm.
new thing, and that was about money. But so that's why a certain group, and she'll remain nameless. I don't even want to argue with them about her. I said I'm gonna present the evidence that I have. You can do
Oh
whatever
yeah,
you
I
want.
saw the crybaby session, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and they can do whatever they want to with it because I am not even interested in going back and forth with disrespectful people. I'm not doing it anymore. Okay, if you don't like it, you want to wipe your ass with it. I don't care what you do with it. Right? I put it out there and let it fly. Whatever direction it's going to fly in. I'm not going back and forth with
Yeah, I
disrespectful
saw the
people.
video and I was like, I ain't gonna say nothing because if he wants to
No,
respond to it, he's gonna respond to it.
I'm not going to respond to it. Thoughts on
Yeah.
Russia nuclear sub in Cuba? They're basically the same shit that the United States is doing in the Black Sea. The same thing
Mm-hmm.
they're doing in the Taiwan Straits. Okay, if you don't like them doing it to you,
Yep.
don't do it to them. Okay. Now they can pull a nuclear aircraft carrier through the Taiwan Straits, the Strait of China. Okay, along their coast, and nobody wants to say shit. Okay, but a nuclear sub pulls up at Cuba. Now we want to freak out. Don't do it. If you don't do it to them, they won't do it to you. That's all
Unfortunately,
they're
it's not
doing now.
about fair play.
Yeah. How about fair play?
But BGS is America's divine right to do that, though.
Okay. Oh, well, if you believe that, and then Russia's divine right to do it back. Okay.
That's the arguments I be saying when I be getting in arguments with my friends that are Fox News disciples.
Okay.
So
So in other words, it's okay for us to do it. Well, why they say it's okay for us to do it?
because we control the world and we're the only country that can keep everything in order.
Okay.
And I said, oh, really?
Okay. Okay. But we got two wars going on at the same time. What are they doing to actually stop it? When they could stop it, we're funding it instead of stopping it. What's that about?
That's what I wanted to ask you about. You kept missing my question. Your thoughts on the 10-year deal?
The 10-year deal. What 10-year deal?
Yeah. Biden just did a 10-year deal with Ukraine to fund Ukraine.
Oh, well, good for him. So what are they going to replace the men with?
You got me there. I don't know. I can't answer that one.
You can send all the money you want, but the thing is, they run out of people to fight.
But then they
Yeah.
have close to 1 million males already dead.
It was
We
in the
don't.
100,000s. I didn't know it was that high.
The number that I've heard was high as 700,000,
Okay.
and 300, maybe 300,000 wounded, maybe, but 700,000 dead is the number that I've heard.
Man.
Hey, BGS, I got a
Yes, sir.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think with this new thing with the avian flu, do you think this is going to be just as bad with the last situation that happened 2 years ago?
With C-19, I don't think so. But we don't have no idea what's in the labs. We have no clue what's in their labs. Okay, all we know is that this gain of function was used on it, and it spread to humans. Okay, we spread from cows to humans. That's what's going on right now. I have no idea what the rest of it is. Okay, but I'm sure they're scared witless about they're still doing this shit, but they're still doing it. So it's what it
I
is.
guess I'm gonna be a regular on your Patreon stream with my camera on, going through my store, showing shelves and prices all high again.
Oh,
boy.
that's man. It's gonna get ridiculous, man. It's gonna get ridiculous. And
I,
there, the things with fuel, with products, with wages going up, all the kind of stuff. It's gonna have a upward effect on prices. It's what it is. You can't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
I was on Black Ram's show yesterday, and I was telling them because I had called him on the phone. I was like, "Son, with the bird flu," and they had brought me up on the show. I was saying, like, "Look, right
Okay.
now in my store, beef went up 30%, but people don't realize it because now we're cutting everything thin and we're
Okay.
doing smaller packages.
Okay.
So it can be
FLX. Okay.
affordable."
Okay. If I know you're joking, but the thing is, the serious answer is, if he's gonna press the red button, what difference would it make? 15 minutes is not gonna make much of a difference.
Mm.
How far can you get from even in a city? Okay. And you know exactly where the bomb's going to strike. You can't get out of the blast radius or the shockwave radius in time, even in 15 minutes. What good will it do if Putin gave you a warning?
None of all.
Okay, if they can give the United States a warning, it's not going to do any good. Okay, the United States can know you're going to push the red button. What are they going to do? They can't do anything, right? There's no defense against this shit. Anyhow, I know it's a joke, but the thing is that is what it is. I hope it's a joke. I hope you're not that dumb. Anyhow, go ahead.
Yeah. The sisterhood gets dumber and dumber on TikTok.
Putin did send out a warning to his Ukrainian cousins. Actually, tried to sign a peace treaty before he actually continued. He actually parked 190,000 people outside Kiev as a warning for 30 days. They didn't move. Okay, for 30 days, he kept all those tanks and all those people outside of Kiev for 30 days as a warning. So say, sign this before the war starts. Guess what they didn't do?
Not a damn thing.
Some of you guys need to go back and read, man, because I've informed you guys for the last 2.5 years on this shit. You guys act like y'all don't know nothing. Okay.
And right now, what Russia doing? North Korea sending troops to Belarus. China sent troops. Nations from South America, Cuba, they sent a lot of their medical corps up to Belarus.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, North Korea is sending, because they're on the border with Russia, they're sending their military trains down to the Russian military base, probably with more equipment and weapons.
Ambassador, if you want to come up and argue the point, you can come up and argue the point, man. Okay. I asked for questions before I actually dropped the link. Okay. So it's kind of hard to do the link and answer question. But as far as slavery, go back and look at the first secessionist movement under Andrew Jackson in 1832. Okay, look at that first. Okay, and then come back. Oh, it was facetious. Well, okay. The only upside of nuclear fallout is them and only them when it will be not. Oh, it's going to be basically. It could be anywhere from half the population gone to everybody gone. Depends on how you want to look at it. Go watch the series Fallout. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's mild compared to what could happen. Fallout is actually very mild compared to what could happen. Anyhow, go ahead, Louis.
Oh, that's all I had basically to say, and I already got my my nuclear package. I got a bottle of Johnny Walker Black. If anything happened, I'm just gonna pull my bottle out and just take it to the head
And toast it. Yeah. In fact, I told you, if I know where it's coming down, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run to ground zero. I'm too old, man, to try to survive a nuclear fallout shit like that, man.
Actually, where I live at is I am 1 mile from ground zero, the strike point.
Oh yeah.
And in the New York metro area.
Oh yeah.
Where it would hit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You basically, and depending on which package you get, is what the radius is, what, from 6 to 10 miles.
Where you vaporize, yeah. Oof.
Yeah. With where you actually gonna craterize the whole thing. Yeah, 6 to 10 miles.
I just go outside right in the street and just take it to the head and wait for it.
Mm-hmm. Call it in. Okay.
Yeah. What was it that Fred said? Elizabeth from Coming Home?
Oh, Elizabeth? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm coming to join you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think most militaries, and Louis can tell you, most military are much more pragmatic. They, only way it will happen is an accident. Somebody miscalculates, because the military has always pulled people, the politicians back for the break. Nope, can't do that one. We refuse to do it. In fact, there was a broken arrow on in 2007, and I think it was by the Bush people. They won't take credit for it, but the thing is, it was Air Force captain, right? Pilot, and he was on a I think it was on a B2, a B1, and going to Iran, as a matter of fact, right? And he says, "Why are we going to Iran?" And so he looked at the manifest, found out what was on. He said, "Oh, before we do anything, call the president. Before we do anything, call the president." So the military is much more pragmatic than you think it is, and I think the last thing that went down with the F-35, I think I think the military had something to do with that one. Like, hey, you might want to look at this plane. So
A lot of people don't realize how much checks and balances that
mhm.
the military have with keeping us safe, especially with officers that work in that field, like with the nuclear silos
Mhm.
and your general officers.
Yeah.
So and a lot of times, what people don't realize, generals intervened a couple of times, especially General Dunford with Obama,
Mhm.
and I forgot the general chief of staff that was with Bush at the time.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I knew P. Pace
Rumsfeld? No,
and
that's
also Milley kept
Yeah.
Trump in check.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Because it could have been a bad deal with that with that with them shooting down that drone um over Iran. And they shot the drone down as a warning, and basically made Trump back off. So shit goes on all the time, and sometimes presidents get a little too close to the line.
Hey,
It depends on how many. Depends on how many. Go look at nuclear winter inspired truths and come back and talk to me, okay?
Mm.
And how many bombs did it take to cause nuclear winter? Then come back and talk to me. Anyway, go ahead, jump in, y'all.
hey, BGS. Preferably, I would like to speak about this behind the wall, and also would like Salchi here too as well, because like I remember when you were going over that Dumb Money movie.
Uh-huh.
He popped back up.
She popped back up.
He popped back up, like the main character of that movie.
Oh, yeah. Basically, yeah. So he sees something. I don't know what he sees. So you have to find out what he's doing and why he's doing it. The first time was kind of obvious. This time, does he see the same thing, same scenario, or is different?
Because I mentioned this like a week or two ago, or some. It was a little while ago. I
Yeah.
mentioned this. Popped back up.
You have to find out why he's doing it. You have to look at the charts and find out the underlying reason why he's doing it. It should be out there. If he's doing it,
When he
it,
popped.
go ahead.
My apologies. I was gonna say, like, when he just popped back up, like actually he actually came back and did a live stream after like 3 years, and
Okay.
like he had like a couple million views on that shit.
Okay. So
And
what did he say? Why is he doing what he's
like
doing?
he didn't really say why he was doing it, but like they actually like halted trades on because he went back to GameStop. They halted trades on it.
Yeah.
And like they actually made articles about him, like on fucking CNN and like shit like that, like Business Insider, shit like that. They were making articles, and they halted trades.
So why did they halt trades on it? Because of him, or just because
It was because of him.
So is there something funky going on with the stock?
It was that he was just bullish on it, so because of that, like they halted trades. And
Okay. So he didn't say why he was bullish.
he didn't, and it's crazy because like I think he bought in at about 20, and it went up to like fucking like 60 or some shit. And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because the people are reacting to him.
Mm-hmm.
So did he gaslight the trade and take profits, or what did he do?
No, he stayed in. Like I think right
Okay.
now I think it says that he has like fucking it's like 120 mil or 200 mil invested in it.
Why so much, man? Why?
Damn.
Okay. So
Yeah, this is like in like he has he has calls and he has stocks.
okay, he's got calls. Okay, where's the strike price?
I think his strike price is 20. I think it was 20 that he bought in at.
Oh no, where's the strike price? In other words, what's he looking
Yeah,
for?
his strike price I believe is 20,
So he should be out.
but he's staying in because
So in
yeah.
other words, what was he predicting for a strike price? The top.
I'm surprised he didn't sell because when it went up to 60, I thought he would have sold at that. But maybe he
Okay.
sees something that everybody
Yeah,
else is.
well, then if he hasn't explained what he sees, then we don't know. Okay, because it could be something that's hidden. It could be something that's underlying. Who has the other side of the trade? It could be a lot of different things. We don't know. So I
Dell,
couldn't tell
like
you.
Dell, he had 624,000 people in his live stream. I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
seen it after the fact. That's crazy.
he's been in a movie. They did a movie about him. Of course, he's gonna have that many people.
Makes sense.
He's famous. Yeah, and he can move the stock by himself. Which is what he did. The thing is, why did he move it? And we don't know.
This is all ironic to me because I haven't been in GameStop in years.
Yeah. So, but he can actually he's actually a market maker. So, and that's probably why they halted trading to actually see what he's up to or what's going on behind it. But things did they resume trading?
I think they closed trading for the rest of that day.
But they resumed trading since then.
Yeah, they have, but that day, like,
Then whatever was going on that could have been funky, because they're gonna look at GameStop and him with a fine-tooth comb with a microscope. So if there's anything that's untoward going on with GameStop or him, they're actually gonna have to bring him to the table. So if they resume trading, that means everything is at least legit. So
yeah, they were like pretty much people are saying that basically he kind of has to stay in for like longer than he would like to because otherwise they're gonna say that he's like manipulating the market and shit like that.
okay, which is legal. He can do that. It's legal. You can do that. He's not he's not fiduciary. In other words, he's not attached to a fund, or he's not attached to anybody that's in the press that can actually move the market with their word. They have to sign contracts. They have to sign legal documents where they can't invest in shit that they talk about, right? But he's a
Yeah,
private citizen. He can do it.
and he made sure to say that he made sure to say that he's not attached to any financial institutions, etc.
Oh, he'd be in jail if they did. They put him in prison. But he's a private citizen can say anything they want. You don't have to follow him. So if he wants to move the market and take profit, he can. There's nothing illegal about what he's doing.
I just thought it was interesting because I know you did that like review of that movie and. Like,
well, I was just showing you.
I'm not saying that like nothing.
I was just showing. I did that as an example how the market moves and how mostly how hedge funds move, right? How they do this shit all the time, but they got caught doing it and it got brought to light because they do this shit all the time. I've seen them doing this like 100 times, where they will take a stock down to nothing and then take profits and actually bankrupt the company. So they've done this with a bunch of them. But go ahead. Last thing about it, because we don't have any evidence about what he's doing. We're going.
Yeah, last thing about it is like pretty much like he's pretty much at where he was like that day when he did his stream. But
okay.
The fucked up thing was like the day before or that day, like he was up like fucking. I think he was up like $40. Like basically he lost like it was like 200 or 300 mil in a day.
Oh well, yeah, because the stock took a bump, so and it got a bump up. He should have been out, and maybe he did take some profit. We don't know. So,
Hey, BGS.
yes, sir.
I tried watching this acting like crap, but it just doesn't.
It's made for a preteen, okay, somebody that's like 12 to 13, maybe at oldest, because
is that why I just can't focus on it. I have to do something. I have to go do something else. I'm like,
it's not an adult series. I mean, them stabbing each other may be a little bit more adult, but the most part, it's made for kids. It's supposed to make this so adults go sleep on it. Because I look at it and say, okay, this is made for kids. All the stuff that they're talking about, the stuff that they're doing, it's actually made for children.
like I don't know about now, but when it initially came out, it was saying that like apparently only like 3% of like the Disney Plus subscribers actually watched that show,
Yeah,
and it's the majority of that was just like people reviewing it.
yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah. Because most of the Star Wars folks, well, now the Star Wars folks are probably 25 and up, and this stuff is made for. Oh, it should be like Disney Kids or something like that. Clean it up, take some of the violence out of it, and make it for Disney Kids. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, but it's kind of an insult to kids because um, Star Wars Rebels was made for kids, but I can go watch that.
Yeah. I mean, you probably could, but thing is, you're too old for it. Okay, you're too old to even watch some crap like when I first started. So this shit's made for kids. The script is kiddie. Stuff they talk about is kiddie. It's old tropes that don't make sense. Okay. Um,
Yeah, that's
uh,
like these tropes. They're like, this doesn't make any sense. Okay.
because
I,
even with the witches, right? The weave, the threading. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, that shit comes from the Wheel of Time. It just stole that.
I think it was hilarious because like looking at the reviews, they're calling it like a lesbian like space
It is.
witch
It is.
colony
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
shit.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Space opera. That's what it is. So, which is fine
yeah.
if you want to market to them. But the thing is, if you're gonna market to them, make it some shit that they like. Okay, stop trying to try to make a male entity into something that women like. Women don't even like that shit. So basically, it's neither fish nor fowl.
Well, part of it is they got to generate new subscriptions all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like something like was it Disney Plus or Netflix? Like they're trying to gain market share and they're competing against Netflix and YouTube and Twitch, but all these eyes are elsewhere.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they have to justify it somehow. So they're trying to throw any IP they can.
I
It's
guess
easier
so.
to buy stuff that they think worked in the
Yeah,
past, which
but
did.
but make good product, man. Just because you sold something don't mean you have to make
True.
shitty product.
But remember, the past 10 years, they've tried they made the Barbie movie, they made Transformers. They've been making a bunch of IP movies.
Barbie made sense. Barbie was actually a decent
True.
movie for what it was, right?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's not so much that Barbie made money, but they are lazy in that they're not going to invest in anything new. So they're going to take something old and try and stuff something new into it.
But you dumped
Frankenstein.
180 million into bullshit, man. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make
Mhm.
dollars or cents. Okay.
Well, the one review I think was great because he was saying that like basically yeah, so their plan is just their plan is basically just to get rid of all of the fans, period, and by that
No.
they just win by default.
Nah. I mean, I shared. There's been a couple of articles going out. Like, I think the #1 streaming service is YouTube, and then number two is Netflix. Oh, you got a fan there. Number 2 is Netflix, and then it comes in with the other.
Did he say something? I didn't even care what.
Tried to.
Oh, tried to. Okay. I don't know what it is. Okay. You don't like the acolyte, but she's avenging her moms. How can you not be inspired by that? Well, she also burned down the whole temple. So how you invent something where you caused their deaths?
And also too, it's like those two twins, like they were raised by two moms. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, Anakin Skywalker is the child of the Force. Okay. Experiment by I forget the guy. That's Darth Plagueis or that
Plagueis. Yeah, Plagueis.
and by taking metachlorians and actually making a child inside of Shmi. Okay. And that's where Anakin actually came from. So they're trying to take that same kind of thing and do it with females. In other words, the twins are actually children of the Force. So the Immaculate Conception.
Yeah, but it sucked.
Celtics in 5 should have been Celtics in 4 if they lost today. They shouldn't even lost today. They probably were bored. They probably want to make money. Had to go back to Boston so they can make some money.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because they should have swept these clowns. Anyhow, what are you guys saying?
Oh,
Good.
I was going to mention earlier. Saw this demonic court proceeding. This chick is smiling
Mm-hmm.
as they're reading the chart. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I don't see. I don't see hardly any of this stuff unless you guys tell me about it.
This black chick is smiling. She was in a store, followed this mother and a 3-year-old around, and
Mm-hmm.
ended up stabbing the 3-year-old to death.
Okay. All right.
And while she's in the court, she's just smiling.
Yeah, she's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, that's mental
And
illness.
actually, I think there's some officers that need to be arrested because I'll talk to Charles about it later. But she told them, if
Mm-hmm.
you let me out, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Okay. And it's not the first time, but yeah.
Yeah, speaking about the whole court stuff, like the thing that's going on now is like the whole Young Thug trial thing with that what is his name, like Woody something?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the prosecutor for that is that's Fanny.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, that's her star witness actually.
Okay.
This Woody dude, and yeah, if you see him on a stand, like that dude is hilarious. Basically, like he already like snitched before.
Uh-huh.
Like while he's on the stand, he's like, I don't recall, and he's playing goofy games.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
I
that's
don't know
her
if
witness.
anyone's keeping up with that.
Nah, not even interested. But I don't even know who the players are. So who's the guy on trial?
Young Thug's on trial.
Okay. I
Young
barely know
Thug,
who
like
he is.
rapper, like YSL dude.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a wannabe rapper. I don't really care for him.
Okay. There's so many rappers, man. You can't keep up.
Yeah.
Somebody said it's not Fanny. That's the prosecutor.
Well, my apologies if I'm wrong on that.
I thought it was Fanny, but maybe it's not. Okay, whatever.
I heard it was Fanny.
I did too.
Well, she's got her. She's they probably had to replace her with somebody because she's got her own stuff.
She got no problem.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't really care, but Rudy Gianni called her a hoe, but I was like, okay.
She's a hoe. So what?
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's pretty accurate. So what's the big deal?
Yeah. Yeah, she is a hoe. She's not a paid hoe. She's a hoe that pays. So
Yeah. If it works, it works.
yeah, it works. It works. Yeah. I mean, I got no problem with it. She got money. She got money. She pays for it.
Well, you hit it on the nail a few weeks ago, BGS. You need to start making these heifers pay you.
It says she's overseeing the Young Thug trial. Okay. District attorney. She's the DA, so she's probably not prosecuting it herself.
Oh, okay.
When she's overseeing it, okay, that makes sense.
Her office is prosecuting, but she's not overseeing it herself.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Chief Deputy Attorney Adrian L. Love is the leading prosecutor in the trial. Okay. So she's not prosecuting the trial herself. Her office is because she's the district attorney. That makes sense. All right.
Apparently, Candace Owens got into it with Piers Morgan, but I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
She got
I
in
didn't
trouble
watch the video,
with
but I've
who?
seen it.
With who?
Piers Morgan.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so she's making rounds, huh?
Good for her. Yeah. Let her
So
get that media buzz.
There's like Andrew Tate and what's Pearlie, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to replace Andrew Tate, so she's got to get representation. So she ain't gone. So that's the bullshit about the Daily Wire. That's bullshit, man. She's still part of it. I don't believe it.
I think she's out in the wilderness though. She's got to make her own.
Nah.
If she succeeds, she'll figure out a way to work her back.
I've been watching politics for so goddamn long, man. Unless you can actually prove it to me, I don't believe it. Because if they get wind up 3 years later, find out they're still helping each other.
Man, you sound like you're under a pillow.
Do I?
Yeah. Jules, were you saying that you think that Candace is like in the wilderness by herself?
Yeah. She came out just enough to get the ire when she was against the Zionists, or like, well, not necessarily against them, but she was criticizing a lot of the activities.
It makes sense.
That put her because like she already had a large audience outside of like the platforms.
But they have to separate her. They have to separate from her.
So they say.
Yeah, but even
I
Even
believe
in
when
name only, they can do that just to not piss off a lot of their viewers.
Yeah.
Who are going to be probably conservative small hats.
or give her more cachet amongst the other side, the people on the other side.
Yeah, I mean it's professional wrestling. If it's
Mhm.
100%
It's like
managed,
It is. Well, we disassociate with Pearl. Okay, bullshit.
no.
that's like why
Who?
I disagree with
With
people that
Pearl.
were saying that like
With
pretty much that like
the
Candace was going to start. My apologies. Go ahead.
good. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say like that's why I disagree when people were saying that Candace was gonna start trying to like pretty much like pander to black people, because like I didn't see any reason for her to do that. She already had a large audience like across like her platforms. Like she got like at least like 2.5, 3 million like subscribers. Like she doesn't need to do that.
She
Yeah.
needs to say enough not to piss off the black manosphere. Okay, but then
10% at most, 10% of our audience is black.
yeah,
folks,
at most she's
Yeah.
actually talking to conservative middle class white men.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, like and I've said this before. It's like before I was even watching BGS, I was watching her shit, and like
Mhm.
the majority of her like her audience is white people.
What I don't like about the manosphere is a lot of these guys can't think past their shoelaces. Okay.
I mean, but how many people? All right, how many people do you think have actually done market research, like actually done that, and seen what demographics are? I mean, not to say that you can't do that with like knowing what your subscriber types are, but I've actually done like a market study to go cross batch and see who are your demographics, who are the profiles of the people that watch you. Like, really done that, not with what YouTube provides you. It's a big. I mean, Google's a huge advertising company, a huge one. And they give you a snapshot of what you can, a very good snapshot. But I mean, like there are thousands of companies that do this stuff on a daily basis. And the big ones, I mean, you don't even know about. Well, the big ones you do know about, but like the ones that do like deep psychological profiles and stuff, I mean, they know exactly what they're trying to get.
Snowman, you can come up, but thing is, you're going to have to stay on topic, okay? Yeah, but anyway. Well, yeah, but the thing is that I from the very beginning, man, this is the left and the right coming together because they have to get control of these men across the globe. Okay, like when I was playing the so-called Chinese Kevin Samuels, this shit is all over the place, right? So this male, this young male, what called laying flat, or them.
Yeah, lying flat. Yeah,
or resigning from family life. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, they have to solve, and they have to have the right person with the right message to convince these men to come back to the table or come back and engage again, and that's going to be hard. So they need somebody like a Pearl or like a Candace Owens to be part of the quote unquote manosphere to represent these guys and lead them back, semblance of normalcy as far as family. Otherwise, you're gonna have you think South Korea's fertility rates were in the toilet. Okay, coming up, man, with these guys and stuff that's coming up with these women. Okay, we're all gonna be below 1, and that's a problem.
Yeah, now, I know a lot of people who are middle to upper middle class who have 1 baby at most. I know a guy
1 baby at most, yeah, and they have
like 10. He's 10 years into marriage, and his wife is like, 38, 39, and she's like, point, I don't think I want to have a kid.
At this point, 70% of the men across the globe are not going to get married, and not going to have a family, and not going to have kids. 70%, and that's an issue, okay, for them.
Yeah,
that's a large issue.
Hey, BGS.
Yes, sir.
One
at a time. Go ahead, Lewis.
Do you think they're just disillusional, or do you think both sides are trying to call each other's bluff?
You talking about men and women, or what are you talking about? I don't know which who.
With the lion flag, because I be in.
No. It started with the hikikomori. Started with the hikikomori first, then it went to the MGTOWs. When I first came into the manosphere, right, MGTOWs, which didn't want to date or didn't want to have kids or anything serious, right? They were maybe 1% of the population. Now they're 60% of the population. Okay, within 10 years.
Wow.
Within 10 years, 60%. That's the underlying issue. The social media and the management can't do that, man. That's the underlying issue that they never.
Yeah, you can't shame those guys into going to pursue.
I mean,
You really can't.
Shame them. What you got to incentivize them, right? What's the incentive for them actually trying to date and marry? It's actually gonna cost them money. And with women talking shit all the time about you got to have this, have that. Bitch, I ain't got to have
Mhm.
shit. I don't need you.
Yeah.
Well, BGS, like
One time. Go ahead.
Go ahead if you want to speak, AB.
I was going to ask BGS, when are they going to finally get to the point where they're going to have a sit down with some of these judges and tell them they're going to have to overturn some of these absurd child support and those kind of laws?
It's already it's already starting to happen. Right? You know, basically, when I was coming up, you had maybe a 5% chance of getting your kid, right? Or any kind of child support. You know, when I first broke up with my baby mama, man, I went to a couple of attorneys, man. They told me, motherfucker, you might as well, forget about it, right? As best you can do is
Wow.
determine what's kind of schooling and religion that she's gonna be into. That's the only influence that you have, right? Of course, they ain't gonna give you
What?
shit. It was in the 90s, okay?
Yeah, I saw the uptick.
it-
I saw the uptick in the 90s. And
Yeah.
BGS, you and I were in big cities. Me in Chicago, I live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
It was a big uptick in the 90s, but I never heard any man openly talk about it.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about it forever, man. About openly talking about it. There's a good organization been around since the early 90s called My Child Said Daddy. There's Daddy in LA. They've been doing it about going to court and for you and advocating for you. That's back then. That's basically that's what turned Paul Elam and what's his name? The guy that wrote Myth of Male Power, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was actually a male feminist until he actually went in and started looking at the stuff. That's where the red pill really started. Movement really started in 93. In fact,
93. I was guessing 90. I was guessing 95 or 96 because I had just moved back to Chicago with my wife at the time.
96 is when Bill Clinton changed all the welfare laws and cut the welfare down by 2/3 and upped the child support stuff on men.
That's when he upped it.
Yeah, he upped it then because they wanted to put take the bulk of children, single mothers off the backs of government and put it on the backs of men.
Okay.
And that's also where you got the big push to send single mothers and women to school. They got all the grants, all the shit that you see as far as women, especially black women going to college, shit like that. That's Bill Clinton in 96.
Yeah, I saw that uptick because I lived, well, shucks, 96. I lived with two Keishas, my mother and my wife at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they were pushing going, not so much my mother, but my ex-wife was pushing going back to school. And this comes after, seeing me start my company.
Uh-huh.
I included her in it, but she slowly backed away. But at the same time, I was 23 years old. I was seeing the uptick in the single mothers, and I was seeing the uptick in the child support cases and watching the news.
Yeah.
Which makes me so glad I didn't have a baby with that woman.
Okay.
Say it again?
No, there's somebody got their
okay.
The speaker on.
Okay. But yeah, I didn't realize it was 93 when that happened. Whew.
Yeah. Well, in fact, let's see if I can find it. I think she's okay with us using it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was only 22 years old when I got married the first time. Learned a lot.
Yeah, good for you. I was close.
When she
close with no cigars.
When y'all kept saying when Akeisha would say, I can do bad all by myself, that's when you get the hell out.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally what happened Christmas Eve, 1998.
Oh, yeah.
Chantel kept saying, I can do bad all by myself.
And you're dismissed, yeah.
I packed the bag and I got the fuck out.
Yeah. The door.
I got out.
Let's see. Let's see. Paul Elam on women's red flags. Paul Elam discuss on the red pill, men's rights, and okay. I think this is the one. This is a little clip. Let's go ahead and use that one. And as always, fair use. Well, Pearl doesn't give shit. So fair use.
One request for a movie night in the future.
Nothing
but a man.
Okay.
I've made that in the past, but you gotta get that one.
I mean, there's tons, man. People wanted me to
Yeah.
do Fallout. They want me to do um, a whole bunch of shit, man.
BGS,
Doom,
before you play
Doom.
this, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Before you
Doom.
play,
Hold on, man. Hold on.
sorry.
Dune. They want to pay a whole bunch of stuff. So put your request in. But the next, well, I'm gonna actually do Polly Murray, because she's actually the central part of being of Jane Crow and the mixing of feminism and taking away feminism with civil rights.
Well,
So she's
I'll
very
give
can't wait to see
I'll
that.
give you
BGS.
two bits.
one time.
about this movie.
Go ahead, Jules.
2 bits about this movie, right?
Mhm.
When it came out, Malcolm X said it was his favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
And second part, it was directed by a white guy.
Okay.
So it's got kind of an interesting set of facts.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll put it on the list. In fact,
Yeah.
hold on, y'all. Come on, calm down. Okay. I'm speaking. Can I speak? In fact, I'm supposed to be doing something with Dr. T. I'm trying to remember what movie it is. I'll think of it. But so there's a bunch of stuff we got to do. But go ahead.
Yes.
Jump in, Snowman. Hold on. Jump in, Snowman.
I took your idea of this week in the W, and I did something. I did a little something with it. I'm gonna put it into like a 10-minute skit beginning next week.
Yeah, I mean that's an idea that's not being exploited. If I was if I was Shawnee O'Neal, I'd be on it. I'd be on it like especially with all this controversy about Caitlin Clark. I mean, I'd be on it like white rice, selling to women. Okay. Oh, this week in the W. Oh, this lesbian couple broke up because this bitch won't have her baby or some shit like that. You know, all kinds of shit.
I'm gonna take that and run with it with the information that I get.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take long for me to piece that together. Something like 10 minutes, like you
Oh,
suggest.
they got tons, man. They got tons of shit.
Oh yeah.
Coaches, players, coaches, broadcasters talking shit. I mean, just it's everywhere. So it's not.
Yeah.
We got to get it before it dies down. But anyway, let me go ahead and play. Let me go ahead and speed this up a bit. This is Paul Elam and talking about the red pill and men's rights and Gynocentrism, right? And where it comes from. Okay. So fair use.
How long have you been doing this?
Since 1993.
Wow.
Actually, that was the year that Warren Farrell's Myth of Male Power came up.
Notice the Christian cross around his neck. Okay. Notice Christian cross.
And reading that sort of turned my life around, and I've been doing this ever since.
And was there like a moment that red pilled you? Like, how did you get into the space?
Well, the book played a role in red pilling me, but what happened after that, I worked in a residential treatment facility, and I came into work after reading that book. In one of our staff meetings, I asked everybody why we were assessing every woman that came into our facility for whether or not she'd been a victim of domestic violence, and we were assessing all the men who came into our facility for whether or not they'd been perpetrators of domestic violence. And we weren't asking women whether they were perpetrators or men whether they were victims.
This is part of third wave feminism coming from the Duluth model, right?
Wait, what type of facility was it?
Substance abuse treatment.
Oh, and so they would automatically ask the women if they were victims and ask the men if they were Is that because of the Duluth model, right?
That was the Duluth model, and it also goes back to just sugar and spice narrative about women, and the men are bad, women are good narrative that's been around at least as long as Duluth or longer. But when I asked about it, I got hostility. I mean, there was outrage among my peers for even asking the question. And my first thought was, I think I'm over some kind of target here. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to find out. And I've been finding out ever since.
And so did you end up like leaving the facility, or how did that
I ended up leaving the field.
Oh, wow.
And doing my own thing. I just couldn't take it anymore because there was a lot more problems than that. And some problems not even gender related. The recidivism rates in chemical dependency treatment are abysmal, and lots of other reasons to leave. But my interest in men's issues took me into counseling men. And that's what I've been doing.
And what would you say are the common problems that men come to you with?
They've been screwed over by women for the most part. I mean, I'm not casting dispersions here, but of the men I talk to, 98% of them whatever life circumstances they're dealing with at the time, go back to decisions that they've made regarding women, getting married to the wrong women, getting the wrong woman pregnant, getting in a relationship with somebody who will make false allegations, all these things, and not screening women. It goes back to.
In other words, it did not start. The shit did not start in 2008, 2009. Okay, for you guys keeping score. Okay, it's well before that. That's what I actually want to show. Okay, so this is the beginning of what we call the red pill. Okay. He's actually describing it.
That, but they're drinking, they're drugging, they're depression, they're suicidal ideation, they're all kinds of life problems. When we talk long enough, we get back to the women in their lives and what they were expecting. Guys think I'm going to meet a girl and fall in love and she's going to love me back and we're going to go off happily ever after into the sunset. And then they find out that it doesn't really work that way. And it's devastating for them.
And you found that even men that are struggling with substance abuse, it's mostly women too.
Well, absolutely. I mean, a lot of guys drink over bad marriages.
Right.
They're miserable. They don't know what to do. They have children. If they get a divorce, they're worried about, sometimes the wife is abusive and the man won't leave because they don't want to leave the children with an abusive mother. And they already know the courts are going to give her custody. So they stay and they drink or they drug or they engage in other risky behaviors or have affairs. Eventually they blow up and slap her or something like that. And then that sets problems into motions.
And do you think this starts for men from childhood? Like, where do you think this comes from? This, because we were talking about it earlier, this just the simping, like they just want to appease women all of the time.
Well, look at your average family or people from my generation grew up in homes where it was an edict. You better make your mother happy. Your mother complains to father, you're in trouble, sometimes really abusive trouble. So it starts in early childhood where father's off at work. They're left with the mother at home. They learn to please mom. They get manipulated. The child manipulates back, pleasing the mom, anything to make her smile. And that sets a behavioral pattern that they take into relationships. They go into their first year of school. It's all women. They have to please the teachers. Their lives are shaped by women for the first 18 to 20 years in almost all cases.
And these are white men. These are not black men. Okay.
And men learn early.
It freeze? Okay, hold on.
Early.
Okay. YouTube. Come on, YouTube. Stop fucking up.
How long have you been doing this?
Don't want to leave the children with an abusive mother, and they already know the court.
This, because we were talking about it earlier. This just the simping, like they just want to appease women.
Starts in early childhood where father's off at work. They're let learn early.
Okay, it's not me.
So we've talked about it before, but just for the audience, what is gynocentrism?
Good question. It's on paper, gynocentrism is just a system of beliefs and attitudes and rules that focus on the well-being of women over the well-being of men. Our attention and energy is focused on making women happy.
That is a white gynocracy enforced by the courts. Okay,
keeping them safe, giving them what they want. It goes back, oh gosh, at least 1,000 years to the advent of romantic chivalry, which is a big part of modern gynocentrism. Gynocentrism itself historically wasn't such a bad thing. If women weren't alive to have children, we would have been in trouble, and they had to be able to protect children and nurture them and get them to where they were self-sufficient. So there was a certain amount of gynocentrism was absolutely an imperative for the human species. But once romantic chivalry hit the mainstream throughout Europe and then eventually in the West, it was more than keeping women alive. It was about keeping that smile on their face all the time. And if we fail, then there's a problem. And that's what led to a lot of simping.
Well, that's because that's kind of a new concept to me. You guys think that romantic shit, like romantic love, and I'm a little bit undecided on it.
Okay.
So I want you to convince me. Like, why is romantic love such a bad thing?
Because it puts unrealistic expectations on a relationship. Romance is about whining and dining. It's about, and let's be honest, romance is about making women happy. There's nothing in the romantic model that says a man has to be happy at all.
The
romantic model says a man has to produce. He has to produce jewels. He has to produce nice things.
Right. There's no like, does she cook him dinner? It's always,
There's some of that, but it's always sort of like, a millionaire gets a wife who takes a part-time job in a dress shop. It's just, here's my $200 to contribute to the 10 million you have in the bank. But back to the romantic thing, look at the model of how proposals go in the West. Everybody has that image of their mind of a man down on his knee, bearing a gift, jewelry that's supposed to represent 3 months of his salary. It's all set up. It's all arranged in advance. That's romance. Romance is laying rose petals at her feet. Romance is talking to her.
Worshipping women.
It is a worship thing. Now, gee, what could go wrong there long term? If you start a relationship with that kind of unrealistic expectation, the only thing that matters is elevating her. The only thing that matters is her happiness.
And that's why you get these women saying they fell out of love.
Absolutely.
Because they came in with the expectation of romantic love.
And women aren't particularly romantic. There's another little flaw in that system too. Men are.
Yeah.
Men are the romantic ones. I work with couples. I work with men post-divorce. It's always the men that are devastated by the broken hearts. I mean, I see it affects women too, no doubt. But for most guys that I work with, by the time the divorce rolls around, she's doing well. Got a new boyfriend.
Right.
Probably had one before they ever broke up. She monkey branched right out of it. And women tend to do their grieving while they're in the relationship, and then they're done. And then a guy is like, oh, it's over now. Then he starts grieving.
You know what's crazy? Men will still talk highly about a wife that absolutely fucked them. Excuse my language. But like a guy will have been taken through the ringer of like divorce court, alimony, and they'll still find something positive to say about her. Where women could have a good guy and they'll absolutely trash him.
It's a lot worse than that in my experience. I worked with a guy once that had been divorced for 8 years, and he was still acting like a puppy, trying to be let into his ex-wife's life. And I've seen that happen over and over and over again. It's almost like they can't divorce. Guys she'll have sex with one of his friends and then call him a week later and say, I need you to help me move. And he'll show up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, that is the beginning of the red pill. It didn't just start, as some people say, in the 2000s or with YouTube or with Blog Talk. Because that's where it actually started. Okay. So I just want to show you guys. All right, jump in, y'all. Yes, sir.
You mentioned a white girl going off on a black girl or something.
Okay. It's actually a TikTok.
Yeah, that's why I appeared. I wanted to see that because you had mentioned it earlier this afternoon.
Okay, I was actually going to do a pre-recorded on, but the thing is, and thank you, Shelton, for the Cash App, and Supreme Ibmore for the Cash App, and there's one more. Was there one more? It was two trips, I think it was, for the Cash App. Let me see if I can find it, because I actually sent it to people, because I actually saw it on my Telegram group. And so let me go back to my sent mail inbox. Where is it? Come on. Oh, sent. There we are. Sent. And okay, look, the loctician. Okay. All right. Is this one? Yes, it's the one. Okay. And go ahead and boot it up. Yeah, because she went off, and I couldn't do it on the other one.
I gotta hear this.
Oh, she went off. She went off. And Uwe, you can jump in at any time, man. So
y'all need to be like Candace Owens, because y'all ain't in this world. Like, seriously, you're literally the reason for the downfall of the black community. That's a fact. You guys are the reason. You dumb bitches want to raise these black men and then holler at the black men when they do you dirty and leave you. You dumb bitches raise these men. You raise them. The only good thing that you black bitches do is give birth to black men.
Ooh.
That's
damn.
And that's what white women feel, and also white men feel the same thing.
Damn.
Catfish.
That's why I could not play it on my other channel, right?
Holy catfish.
I might get a strike for this one, but the thing is, this is fire. But it's actually on YouTube. So okay. So
holy catfish. Wow.
It's a white woman that actually dates black men. So so say let her. I'm gonna let her cook.
Let her cook, please.
I'm gonna let her cook. If you guys want, tell me when you guys want to pause. Say what?
Let her cook.
Say what? I can barely hear you.
Yeah, I was saying basically, there's a lot of stuff that I see in the space, and I try not to say too much because
make it quick. Come on, Make Believe, make it quick, okay?
Okay, so typically they like to say that, like, you know, like the whole red pill MGTOW dudes, like,
Yeah.
were like advocating against like dudes like actually fucking finding the love of their life or whatever the fuck they want to call it or whatever, right? But it's just like, if you actually do anything about it, like we encourage people to do all that shit.
The first red pillars were red pillars, quote unquote, were MRAs, men's right movements like Paul Elam. And then the pickup artists came along right after that, right? So the first red pill was pickup artists like Tariq Nasheed and people like that, and then the MRAs, right? And then then they had a war between each other, the pussy beggars versus the conservatives, right? And then the MGTOWs came along right in like 2009 or so, 2010. And
Yeah,
they branched off, but that's where it came from. Real quick,
yeah, like
finish up.
yeah, I'll finish up real quick. Like basically, all I'm trying to say is, like, I see a lot of goofy shit said, and like a lot of times I don't say anything. I just, because I don't want to discourage people from having their fantasy or whatever, or their dream. So I try not to say too much.
You can't stop them anyway because they're indoctrinated into this kind of shit. That's the simp chimp, or what they call the winter soldiership going off in here. That's what Paul Elam just said. Okay, you can't stop them.
And then all y'all want to holler all the time. Every time women of any other race do anything, we want to be black. Bitch, why the fuck would we want to be black? You don't even want to be black.
Oh,
damn! No, come
Wow.
back and be black. I'd be a black man, not a black woman. The fuck out of here. Why the fuck would I want to be a black bitch for? You all are the most bitter, racist, crusty ass bitches I ever seen in my life.
Ooh.
The only time you see black women actually be classy, please, them days is over. Them Claire Huxtables, they don't exist anymore. There might be a little handful of women that like that still left, but the rest of you want to be like Suki Hana and Sexy Red, and you're nasty. Go wash your hair, go change your sheets, and go take care of your ass baby.
Ooh.
You the mad one, bitch, and you gonna stay mad for the rest of your life. Me, I'm good. I'm straight. Been that way from day one. Yeah, stay jealous.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from.
Okay, that was
I will
that was the piece.
I will quickly invoke Vin Scully after that rage. High fly ball in the right field. She is gone.
Now that was a 100-mile-an-hour fastball at the batter's head. That's what that was.
That was Randy Johnson against John Crook.
And the batter bails out, man, with the bat flying.
Yep, that's Randy Johnson versus John Crook.
Yeah,
in the All-Star game.
That's why I didn't play it. Let's see what this chick's got to say.
That is wild.
But evidently this is her. Evidently this is her, and this is her boyfriend. Okay, so.
Okay.
So she got a boo thing. Okay. So anyhow, I'm gonna play a little bit more, and then we're gonna go ahead. But I think that was a TikTok that they were playing.
So step up to out Smallwood's rampant Karenicity. I'm disgusted. I want to put like some garlic or something around my neck, whatever I can to protect.
Ooh,
kryptonite.
Oh, now you want to clutch the pearls.
Now you want to clutch the pearls, yes.
Mother of Smallwood's husband even contacted Taylor via TikTok to say she no longer spoke with her son because of Smallwood.
Okay.
Mother wanted to apologize, however, for the vitriol and stated she didn't raise her son that way. The mother would even note the 48-year-old Karen was 18 years older than her 30-year-old son with kids his age.
But is she wrong though?
I heard
they can't disprove what she said. That's why they have to make the personal tax.
BGS, what's the line I have on my sweatshirt? Find the lie.
Find the lie. Find the lie. That's true.
No lie can be found here, sir. No lie can be found here.
Find the damn lie.
That's why it went viral, and it wasn't a black woman that said it. It wasn't a black man that said it. Guess what? It was Karen herself.
Yep, it was.
I try not to get in other people's business.
But you're in it.
You should probably not lash out at others when we're not sure about the stuff in your backyard, your kitchen,
so
your purse.
So why are you hurt? Why are you hurt?
Taylor would go on to share almost several years' worth of reviews from Smallwood's Facebook business pages that repeated how she was a bad-mannered, ignorant racist who liked Black money but not Black people.
Why did she have black dick in her then?
For
And getting it more than
breastfeeding
you.
mothers.
Yeah.
Just look at it. Many reviews would point out horrible styling skills, a desire to be Black,
Okay.
but was fine with Black Americans being shot by racist cops and even allegedly using the N-word.
Was she wrong about you? We know what she is. Well, what the thing is, was she wrong about you? Why you hurt?
I know what you are, borderline.
Why
I know what
someone
you
so
are, borderline.
Anyway, that was the TikTok. It was only like a minute and a half. But that's why
You know the crazy part, BGS? When Jody and I first got together, that was one of our first conversations.
It should be.
Oh,
That was one of our first conversations. We talk about the difference in race almost every day, and every day there's something crazy going on, and we talk about it. That's one of the first things that we talked about, and it's so prevalent with her and I now. And in 11 days, we'll celebrate our 5th wedding anniversary.
And Telescope is saying she's literally talking about white people are
wearing a white woman's wig on her head.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So
she's a hair-headed hooligan, acting a fool again, hair-headed
hooligan.
Y'all jump in because we got about another hour. I'm not.
Yeah, Black Roo, you there?
Oh yeah.
He'll jump in.
What's up, Uru?
Hey, how you all doing?
Uru will not hesitate to jump in. Go ahead.
Well,
Good evening. We like to hear the whole nigga takes.
Hold on. Come on, y'all. Go ahead, Uru.
Well, you mentioned 93. The pivotal thing of 93 was the election of Bill Clinton. And in particular, the interests of the Dark Lord Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
So a lot of that feminist programming in particular that resulted in the policies that BGS mentioned earlier, she was the champion of that. She brought that into the federal government, and it spread it everywhere, and it manifested in what it's not a coincidence that Elam refers to 93 in his description of because Bill Clinton, that's when that presidency started. So it all kind of, I mean, there were issues prior to that. But that was the first, I would say the first presidential administration that was sort of stridently, proactively.
It was. Feminist,
and everything that we saw that specifically impacted Black people. See, because we also had, what was also going on there was all the issue. Black men were under assault. The drug war,
3 strikes,
the joblessness, the jobs moving overseas, blue collar jobs, the drying, the rust belting of all the job. I mean, so Black men were being assaulted. And then they were bringing in these programs to help and elevate Black women, particularly those that had children. So it was a clusterfuck.
Oh, but excuse me, Black Urban, sir. Let us not forget also, by the way, he was inaugurated in 93, like you said. But let's not forget, by the way, shout out to Terrell Bentley. Darth Rodham is right.
Come on,
Darth Rodham is the term for her. But remember the term she used for Black men, especially when they were trying to pass a 94 crime bill. What was that term?
Predators.
No, not predator. The super predator.
Super predator.
Right.
Yeah, that's a crime bill. Also, we got to remember that was also the height of the promise
crack era.
No, the Promise Keepers. No, crack era height was before that.
Okay, the Promise Keepers are. Oh yeah, you mentioned the Promise Keepers before.
The end of the height of the crack era, for the most part, it started to die down after the Rodney King riots, and they took all the money out of it.
You know who heightened the Promise Keepers, and how I learned about the Promise Keepers? There was a coach at the
Yeah,
University of Colorado by the name of Bill McCartney.
He started the movement in '89.
He
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Bill McCartney
and
was his name.
the height of it is like 93. That's because you had
Yep.
what is it? The Myth and Male Power. He also had a book called Iron John, right?
Iron John. Yep.
Yeah. We talked about masculinism and bringing back the hero's journey with men and stuff like that. And then the feminists came in and destroyed the Promise Keepers movement.
Blew it up.
Blew it up. Yeah.
Blew it up. Because I remember Bill McCartney was one of my favorite coaches and one of my favorite people when I learned about Promise Keepers. And by the time I moved to North Carolina in 1994 and I first got married in 1995, it was blown to smithereens.
Yeah.
Ooh, my condolences.
It was blown to smithereens.
Yeah, they took it out. They literally, the government and the feminists took the Promise Keepers, Promise Keepers movement out of it. So that was really the first, I would say, the first really big red pill men's movement.
Yeah.
And they blew it up. But somebody else want to get in? You guys get in. Ooh, you want to finish
I have
up?
a question, actually.
Well,
since you
the problem with the Promise Keepers.
Hold on, Naima. Finish up, Uru.
The problem with because I was briefly affiliated with Promise Keepers. The problem with the Promise Keepers it was painted largely as a religious and racist sort of wingnut outfit, even though there were a lot of black men who were intrigued by the Promise Keepers. Like I say, I myself was briefly involved with it, but they politicized it in such a way, and black men in particular got caught in between the issue of race and religion and feminism and sex, roles and that sort of thing.
Yeah, but the red pill movement was not started by black men. Okay, so it's started by white men, especially the MRAs.
So it sounds to me like the Promise Keepers was shamed out of doing what they were
more than just shame. They were destroyed. Yeah, they were destroyed.
More than that, they took it apart. They took that apart piece by piece because there were a lot of Promise Keepers I met in Greensboro. We were really getting into the movement, and the next thing you know, all the meetings stopped. The gathering stopped, and the next thing we know, we didn't hear a thing about it at the top of 1995. It was gone.
They were getting 100,000 men in stadiums. Okay, that's how big it was.
Yep,
at its height.
It was a smear campaign that began it all. Remember, they had to start with a smear campaign, and then they probably they also were able to galvanize politicians and whatnot to believe their hype of how they painted the movement.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you had a feminist presidential administration that wielded power for 8 years. Had the Promise Keepers caught hold during
Reagan,
the Bush or Reagan, you have a totally different result. Totally different,
and they probably would be still alive.
But the problems that caused the Promise Keepers, because remember they changed the child support laws in like the late '80s. It caused this big ass reaction, and all of these guys are getting destroyed by the family courts. That caused the rise of the Promise Keepers, and plus Bill McCartney was an NCAA winning football coach.
Because they were they were close to getting their first national championship, which didn't happen until '90. They played in the Orange Bowl in '89 after they beat Nebraska. And that's when, and like BGS said, that's when the height of the Promise Keepers, especially in Colorado, was happening.
It's happening. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, another thing that hurt the Promise Keepers was the successful attacks on the institution of marriage itself. Because at the center of the Promise Keepers was family, was marriage, was husband, wife, children, faith-based. As the marital rate and marital strife grew, the foundation upon which the Promise Keepers was based was a lot less substantial at that point. If you can't even get decent women to marry, or if they all turn into crack holes or et cetera or whatever, then just the fundamental purpose of the Promise Keepers is null.
Null and void.
Well, I'm saying it sounds like they did the shame, blame, and explain to that group, and it speaks to like there's a difference between shame and guilt. Like guilt is something that is generated internally. Shame is something that's done externally. So it sounds like people from outside of this group shamed it. But were these people who were just not promise keepers? Were they non-black men? Were they other black people? Like it reads to me as some groups wanted to benefit from this group failing, and it might have been done from inside of the house. And so that's what I was trying to point to.
You know what the reverse of that was? Years later?
What?
3 letters, BLM.
No, that's way later. That's way later.
Yeah.
That's
like that's damn near. That's damn near what
30 years?
30 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's the reverse of it.
BLM. I think BLM was the height of was the height of intersectional feminism. I think that's the height.
Think so?
Yeah, BLM. Yeah, I think it's the height of it. It's starting to decline, especially in the 2018, 2019, especially under Trump. Started to decline, and then COVID kind of put another hole in it. So
COVID.
So now,
I was just at
I have a question, teacher.
Go ahead. Ask the question.
First of all, you said you talked about the these laws that were changed to reform child support and everything.
Yeah.
Was this a state law that later became a federal law, or was it a federal law?
Actually, is a little part of the Duluth model, but the thing is that remember, it wasn't federal law until '96 under Bill Clinton.
Okay.
It was state law.
Because if I'm not mistaken,
hold on.
Yeah,
You
because
gotta remember the way when the United States works state law, it starts in the states first, and then it works its way out. Federal is always last. Okay.
Exactly.
And what was it? Gloria? What's her name?
Gloria Steinem.
Not Steinem. No.
Allred.
Worked with the Duluth model and said that child support needed to be a certain percentage of a man's income, right? So in other words, it used to be whatever the child support used to be whatever the state paid to take care of a kid, right? So whatever that amount was for 1, 2, 3 kids, that's what a man paid in child support. Gloria Allred said you need to pay a certain percentage of your income for each kid. So if you made like $100,000, then 40% of your income need to go to support children. Okay. She changed the model of what it used to be. So that's when it really started. And that's what really started triggering a whole lot of guys going broke. Now you have to you got 3 kids and you're divorced. She goes back to court. Now she's getting 40% of your income, your take home income.
I maintain
in the process.
One time. Huh? So what?
And in the process, what also happens is if you fail to pay your child support on time, they incarcerate you. In the process,
they've been doing that, man, since FDR in 1935.
Yeah, and one of the drawbacks of being incarcerated is that you get your driver's license revoked.
Now that happened under Clinton, where it wasn't enough just to put him in jail. Then they started taking your passport, your driver's license, your what is it? Your union cards, all that kind of shit. All that kind of shit. That's when it got really draconian. Okay.
Thank you for clarifying.
Which is what we're trying to reverse now. Anybody else jump in?
Yeah.
The other thing you had in the mid-90s that really changed things and sort of was a companion to what ramped up and I think was contributed to the downfall of promise keepers and similar sort of activities. The Violence Against Women's Act.
Oh, yeah, right
after
OJ.
Yeah. Because what that did was made a threat. Almost anything you did that was overtly masculine or could be viewed in a way that supposedly had some sort of negative effect on women.
In handcuffs.
That act made everything a man might do somewhat suspect. Economically, physically, with respect to children, with respect to sex, all of that.
Yeah, that was thanks, OJ. There was sending cops to jail behind that shit.
Wow.
Yeah, they're sending cops to jail behind that shit.
Yeah, and that was all happening in one decade. In one decade, all of that was all coming together.
Oh yeah. Between I would say 88 and
97
and 98. Yeah.
98.
Yeah. Oh.
We also had the Clarence Thomas
oh yeah,
91.
That was all a part of it.
Clarence Thomas and
That was
Anita
all
Hill.
a part of it.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
91. I think that was 91.
Yep. And then
Clarence Thomas.
and then you got the Me Too shit with under Obama with the Dear Colleague letter. No, the Dear Colleague letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we just now have a basketball player that has been exonerated from that.
Yeah.
Illinois basketball player.
Terrence Shannon.
Today? Yeah,
Yep.
just today
Terrence-
or yesterday.
Yeah.
It was today, and it's Terrence Shannon Jr. He's fine. He finally got exonerated.
Yeah.
Yeah, lottery debuted to be a lottery pick basketball player.
Yes.
And he was damn near destroyed by a false Me Too allegation.
Fortunately, he's not, and he can get back in the lot. Well, I don't think he ever left the lottery, but his stock
he's too
plummeted.
old. He's too old now. Yeah.
His stock plummeted.
Can he seek damages? Is my question for wrongful imprisonment.
I don't think so. I mean, it's kind of hard to get it.
I
See,
mean, what
BGS
money
a
do
lot-
they have?
It's a lot of momentum around women all over the world who are no longer accepting or tolerating the behavior of Black women, and it's not changing because you're going to ruin your society.
Yeah.
And now they're feeling the effects of the society by accepting this kind of behavior. Like the birth rate goes into the hole. You have to import people. Society starts to collapse. If men don't want to cooperate, society will collapse. That's the problem. They talk about revolution or some kind of violence. That's not how societies actually collapse. People's indifference is how it collapses.
No. When
Indifference
Rome
is
fell.
way- yeah,
Well,
it's different.
the only thing I would say about this thing is, to me, it's very hypocritical of white women to now point the finger at Black women when it was mostly white women that enabled the fuckery of Black women.
That's true.
I mean, Black women
wouldn't
would
be
not
held
have been
accountable.
able they wouldn't have been able to get these laws passed and these judicial decisions and all this bullshit if it was not supported by white women who are the majority voters in this country.
But the thing is that what she's saying is that you Black women are pointing fingers because we're dating your men.
Yeah.
And you've been dating our men for centuries. But the thing is, you want to, you turn around and blame Black men for dating us when you're the problem. That's what she's trying to say.
Touchdown.
And Black women are the problem in large part because of what white women have helped them to do.
They helped them to do it, but the Black women have been the problem for a very long time. In other words, all white women did. All they really did was give Black women the same rights that white women had. That's all they did. Okay. White women didn't break up their families like Black women did. Okay.
Facts.
But white women help Black women to break up their family.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Uru. Okay.
Sure.
Under civil rights, right? Okay. Black women couldn't get the child support, the federal rate, the other kind of shit that other women got, right? Okay.
Right.
They couldn't, right? So under civil rights, what are they supposed to do? Not give it to them?
I think I lost track of your question.
No, in other words, before the 1960s under civil rights, okay, a lot of things Black women could not get that white women had. Okay, under civil rights, they had to be given the same things that white women got. So, in other words, I'm asking you, should they have not given it to Black women?
No. My point is, when I look at how policy has been put together and how things have been administrated around those laws, because a lot of it isn't even just the laws itself. A lot of it is the administration of the laws. A lot of it is judicial decisions, enforcement, etc. Much of that has been enabled by white women, largely for their own purposes, helping to create this feminist apparatus that then Black women have used in some cases to extreme. but would not have been able to do that had white women themselves had you not had Gloria Steinem doing her bullshit. It'd been more difficult for some of these black women to do what they've done. My point.
Of course,
you didn't have Gloria Steinem doing Ms. Magazine and all that bullshit and declaring black women to be the backbone of this and all that. If you didn't have those white women doing what they were doing, it would be more difficult for Keisha to do what she does.
Black women have said that shit way before Gloria Steinem on feminism. That's not new. Okay, they've been saying that for years.
I'm not saying that black women did not want to do what they did. Of course,
they were doing it anyway.
Free will. I'm saying white women have helped them.
Yes.
Enabled them.
Oh, let me ask you this, Uru. Let me ask you this, Uru. Okay, just because a white woman gave her the gun, is she supposed to shoot us?
Nope.
Oh no, but I am gonna say, bitch, you gave him the gun. I am gonna say that.
We can say that. The thing is, so black women are gonna say, bitch, you gave me the gun, okay? And call out you're white bitch. Hold on, you're a white devil for giving me the goddamn gun, right? And she said, bitch, you shot your man. Is she wrong?
Right. I mean, what happened to when Geronimo was betrayed by his own people? What did they do with his traitors? They put them on the train with him, sent them off. They didn't trust them because they're traitors. That's what happened.
What I'm saying is, I agree with you that white women enable them. You go back to Polly Murray. Polly Murray was the one that encouraged these white bitches to include racism with feminism. Okay, this is from the beginning. There's black women actually on board with this shit from the very beginning. They didn't just hand you shit. You asked for the shit. Okay, same thing with abortion, right? White women made it available. Guess who was asking for the shit? Black women.
Black women.
Okay. Did they enable them? Yes. But the thing is, I'm not saying that the white woman's not racist. I'm not saying that she's not complicit. But the thing is, that white woman, was she wrong in what she was saying?
No, I'm not at all disagreeing with what she's saying.
Okay.
I'm just broadening the perspective of, the culpability of the parties involved. My point is,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying the white women made them do wrong. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying your mother or your people, you just like white men. I look at Paul Elam and I see a bunch of white men that were complicit in a lot of feminist bullshit that had bit them in the ass after the fact. That's what I see.
That's how he had to lead the field, right? Okay, and go out on his own. He says that. He was the first one to tell you that. He called them. What did he say in that interview about the simps enabling white women?
Exactly.
He said that. But the reason I'm showing you that is because I wanted to show a lot of these people in this space that don't understand the red pill that said that black men are on some bullshit and it started in 2008, 2000. Nah, motherfucker, go back to 93, okay? This is where the red pill actually started with people like him, the men's rights movement people, okay? Back in 93.
Wow.
By the way.
Yes, sir.
By the way, Black Uber, sir, I hear your point, but to further enforce BJ's point here, regarding Gloria Steinem, when she started Ms. Magazine, she didn't start it by herself. Do you remember there's a picture of her standing side by side with a fist up with a black woman? Does that person look familiar to you, sir?
No, I know what you're referring to. We're not.
The name.
Let him. You asked him a question. Let him answer it now.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, I'm not exonerating black women for their role in what they've done. I'm just noting. I'm saying, look, if we're going to tell a story, let's tell the whole story. What black women have not been operating as independent agents in this situation that we find ourselves in. And white people in particular, and white women specifically in particular, have played a very pivotal role in what has happened. And in most cases, when we look at, when we talk about what happened during for example, the administration of a lot of the programs,
Mhm.
the Great Society programs, most of the administrators of that shit was white women. Most
Yeah.
of the people who were breaking up black families,
Mhm.
were the agents and the inspectors. A lot of them were white women
Of course.
that
Yeah.
were running black men out of their homes and shit like that. So I'm just saying, if we're gonna talk about this, let's tell the whole story about what was going on back then.
And the black women have to tell the whole story too, because they won't admit it either.
That's true. That's
So
true.
that's thus the black man is fear, right? We're the ones that have to come back and tell the story because they won't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, Ms. Stoda says, look in the mirror and say 3 times, master teacher, master teacher, master teacher. You ain't shit, Ms. Stoda.
Wait, you jump
By
out
the
of
way,
the candy man?
Said
Is
3
it
times
like the candy man?
Candy man, yep.
Candy man.
Let me
I
get
ain't
on.
gonna do it. I
Let
ain't gonna do
me
it.
get on out of here, guys. I got to finish laundry, and then my wife's got to get going early tomorrow. We're
All right,
going up
get
to
it, black
South
woman.
Bend.
Get white chocolate a kiss for me.
Will do.
You guys have a?
She already said hi. She already said hi earlier before she passed out.
Okay.
Because
All right.
she heard my stream earlier tonight.
And man, this gets okay. Before you go,
Yes.
do you actually think that the coach is freezing out Caitlin Clark by changing the offense?
Yep.
You think so? Okay. Man, I mean, she goes from like 30 points. It's 30 points and 8 rebounds and
38 and 13.
13, right? To and she had 22 shots to
Yep.
8 shots and 11 shots, man, and 7
Mhm.
and 7 and it was 11 points.
It's the inconsistency of the coaching.
That you know what that sounds
bugs
like?
me.
That don't
What's
sound like a coaching thing. That sounds like a teammate thing.
No, the
No,
sets
not
that
in
they're
this
running,
case.
the sets that they're running, or this is the coach thing. You can tell.
The X's
But
that
why does a coach make that decision though?
Okay, this is
there's
what
the
I'm.
point.
This is what
There's
I'm.
the point.
This is what I'm reading. Okay, this is what I'm hearing. This is what I'm reading because I got to go back and look at the games again. Right?
Mhm.
She has made a decision to run the offense through the center.
Aaliyah Boston.
Aaliyah Boston. So in other words, make the pass and feed the post and get in the corner and spot up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm reading. Instead of, if you actually want to run, you do like Reggie Miller. Start her from the corner and run her a wheel route right around the post. Run her guy through like 2 or 3 screens and get her feet. They're not doing that. Why? It's because she believes their best chance to win is running the offense through Aaliyah Boston.
And not having the free flow that Clark did at Iowa.
Well,
not having the you know what the problem is I see with Indiana the last couple of games? Space.
What the thing is, if you run the ball through the post, okay, then the thing is that you're not emphasizing the 3-point shot, right? You have to dump the ball down and clear space for Leah Boston to work her way in the post. That means you gotta spread out and pass the ball in the center. So you got to feed her the ball. Basically, that's opposite of what you have to do if you have a shooter like a Jordan or like a Clark or somebody else like that.
Because in a way, they're taking Caitlin out of the game, feeding it into the post.
Because where's the emphasis to run the game through, right? It's like the old fight between Kobe and Shaq, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who dominates the ball?
Shaq did.
Well, Shaq did. So basically, you had to go back to the 97 to like 2000, right? Get the ball into Shaq, which what's his name? Hated, right? I got a shot, but no, get the ball inside the Shaq, dump it in the Shaq, and stand back and let him go to work. Now, I think that's what's happening. But they have to see a couple of more games to actually figure it out. So
it's like what Phil Jackson said during that era: we're going to ride Shaq until he goes to sleep. And he said that many times, but he really highlighted it during the Kings series in 2002.
Yeah, he did. But the thing is, he also emphasized the triple post allows Shaq to also be an assist. In other words, we're gonna dump the ball in, but things you got to feed it out to your shooters too.
Yeah.
So the triple post is kind of like the medium between the low post game that Dale Harris was running versus what the medium game where You're actually emphasizing because the triple post is actually there to get spot up shots. That's basically what the thing is. But the thing you actually ran it through Shaq instead of running it through Scottie Pippen or Michael Jordan, right? So
Yeah.
because we actually ran the same offense in Parkley instead to get you a medium range jump shot. That's actually built for. But the
Yeah.
triple post,
Yeah.
So anyway, man, go to bed, and we'll continue. Go about another 30, 40 minutes, I guess.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm turning that W into, I'm turning that idea of yours into a series.
You should, man,
I
before
am.
somebody else gets it. Because
I
the
am.
thing is, this woman coach actually said the same thing. You shouldn't have drafted her if that's what you wanted to run. Let her go to another team instead of a low post team, because actually you're gonna kill whatever. But the thing is, she makes money. I know why they drafted her. Okay.
Yep.
Because you're gonna make money. The thing is, you're gonna kill the golden goose by doing this shit. But
You
if I
go-
were
you
the
go.
owner, I'd have a big talk with my coach in my office, okay, about
Yeah.
us and the money. And if I was the commissioner of the WNBA, I'd have a talk.
Which we have, whom we haven't heard from
All this shit is
in
going
this whole damn debacle,
Where-
and I talked about this tonight. Where's the commissioner in all
Where's
this?
the commissioner with the hard fouls and handshakes and all the other shit that goes on? All
And
the yapping,
the blatant fouls.
all that yapping back and forth in the press should have been killed by the commissioner. Shut the fuck up, okay?
And it hasn't been. In fact, it's increased.
As I understand it, the NBA is still paying
They are.
substantial portion of the WNBA bill.
Oh, they've done it since day one.
If the late David Stern was still running the NBA,
yeah,
I guarantee you it would be a whole different thing going on in the WNBA.
Yeah,
leave that shit alone.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that shit like this that's going on in WNBA should have been stopped by the owners and by the commissioner. Should have stopped all this squawking.
They are afraid. They are afraid of the politics surrounding those women, in part because they're black females, and then you add to it this whole the rainbow effects, and they're afraid they're afraid to really go at those women because of the potential political ramifications.
You don't do it in public. You call them to the fucking office and put them on the goddamn phone. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors.
And if not,
you can do that, but in this whole advocacy, social media, woke thing, some of those women are going to go public.
Well, let them go public. Let them go public.
And then you got the WNBA. Then you got the WNBA. When you look at how the WNBA work, it's clear that they tiptoe around those women. That Brittany Griner thing. They all are. Everybody's very careful politically with those women. They deal with them. They don't deal with men in the NBA the way they deal with women in the WNBA.
Well, then, what's the commission name? The NBA, what's his name?
Kathy Engelbert.
No, NBA.
No, you're talking about
Adam Silver.
Silver is the WNBA's baby daddy. He's got to come out and get them straight. Okay. He's the baby daddy.
Here's some comments, because Caitlin Clark, that I sent you this morning, BGS. They got to her. They got her to say we shouldn't be pushing any agendas.
Yeah,
some kind of bullshit. They got to her.
She's smart. She's making $30 million. She's smart. Shut the fuck up and let them do whatever they're gonna do. Okay? End of the day, she's gonna be good. Okay.
Yeah.
Why blow up your own train?
True.
No, let them do it. Just don't.
Yeah, and they're heading right into the wall.
I mean, what she should do is fake an ankle injury. Say out a couple games, see what happens.
Fake an ankle injury to help Ice Cube. I'm just saying.
Well, Ice Cube says, he said the moment is past for that contract. She should have took it. But anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, go to bed, Snowman.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
Be well.
Night. What in the all types of blue hell?
Yeah, this week in the W. Anyhow,
this week in the W is brought to you by if I can bring the ad, sir.
Go ahead.
This week in the W is brought to you by Bum Leg Orthopedics. The only thing keeping Anthony Davis' body intact. That's Bum Leg Orthopedics. On my leg, on my leg, on my leg, on my leg. And Soft Guys, scented oil, brand new sandalwood and mothballs. If you ain't old and grizzled, you ain't certified drizzle. Drizzle, baby.
If you want your soft guy to smell good, this is what you should get him for Father's Day.
Oh, happy Father's Day in advance, sir. You, Buckaroo, anybody who's a daddy, happy Father's Day to all one of y'all, to every one of y'all.
Yeah, happy
R.I.P. Dad.
OPW, I don't know what the fuck your point is, man. It's the coach's job. It's the owner's job to make some fucking money. Okay. Owner's job to make money. If trust and believe, if I got the golden goose and I'm selling out stadiums, and if we fucking with my money, you have to come to the office. I don't give a fuck what you're trying to do on the court. It's entertainment at the end of the day. That's what you get paid for.
Yeah. By the way, besides the coaches and the owners, what about the general managers? Are those still one and the same?
The Clark fans are not going to be there no matter what. Trust and believe. You start fucking with the golden goose, they're going to leave. Okay.
Yeah. No, like you said, the owner should be called in to reprimand the players. My question is, why aren't the general managers also involved, or do these WNBA franchises not have general managers?
Because I think they agree with what's going on. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you for the clarification, sir.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else, y'all?
The biggest problem with the WNBA is the subsidy by the NBA. Look, if there have been, BGS, I'm sure know this, there have been like 3 or 4 or 5 female basketball leagues the last 50 years.
Yeah.
And they've all failed.
Yeah.
The only reason the WNBA has survived is because of money from the initial support and the continued financial support from the NBA. Were it not for the NBA, the WNBA would have failed as well.
Yeah,
but because the NBA subsidizes the WNBA, it operates with a level of impunity that the other leagues could not operate in because they had to actually make money themselves to survive.
Yeah, and plus the WNBA is there because like 35% of your fans in the NBA are actually female. You got to keep them happy, even if they don't go themselves, which is another problem. How come they don't go? You have more female fans in the NBA.
I don't see the logic. If the women don't support the WNBA, then how does the existence of it? How is that a requirement?
You have to do the social math.
Called equality.
They don't have to they don't have to support it, but the thing is, it has to be there to keep them happy. You do have a women's league. See, we do support women's sports and support women. So it's more about not about what is it?
Even the feminists off their neck.
It's more about what do they call that? Not politics, but more about social media.
It's sort of like public relations.
Yeah. No, not egalitarian. What is it when you we have to deal with the fans and shit like that? That's really all it is. That's why they don't mind paying, huh?
You mean appeasement or something like that?
It is appeasement. What I'm saying is how they're just keeping the female fans happy by it being there. That's how to put women on Sports Center and all that kind of shit. Because the big rise in female representation. They won't go to the games as far as their NBA. The thing is, they're going to say, "How come y'all don't do nothing for us?" Okay, bitch. Guess what? We got a league for you. Go watch it. Well, we don't like the way they play. Well, then but you have it there.
You know what the problem with the WNBA is? That W is an L. But anyway, and it's not for me.
Oh, damn.
And you like my new picture, don't you?
If Kingpin was a pimp, okay.
Right.
That's called.
Charles looks like some out of a black exploitation
Yeah,
bitch.
Kingpin in his pimp
Yeah.
suit. Okay.
No, just
Yeah.
blow it up and you'll see what it is. If we were in the Wild West, that's what I would be.
You be like Bass Reeves.
Yeah, you do like you still look like
Yeah.
King. You look like Kingpin in a what is it? Not a pimp suit. What they call it with YMCA? What they call him? A village guy. Village.
The village people.
The village
The
people.
village people. Oh, the cowboy. Yeah, but the cowboy was white.
That's the village people outfit.
Oh no, that's what you call. That's what you call the last. That's what you call the last law, man. Fuck
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's what you call it.
Nobody wants to watch the lesbian.
It's called public relations. That's what it's called. Public relations.
Oh, PR.
Yeah, PR. That's all the league is.
Nobody wants to watch the lesbian league and they're mad.
Yeah, but it's got to be there. So women say, "What are you doing for women? We got a whole league for you. Go down and watch it."
Yeah, you got to do something for women. It's called a kitchen. But anyway,
nah. I mean, who wants to listen to female sports commentators? Right? Nobody. But thing is, guess what? They got to be there.
How the fuck did what's that funny looking face bitch name?
McNutt?
Which one?
No, which is the greatest fucking name ever. She could be in my class.
Andrews?
Monica McNutt? Which one?
No, I'm talking about the one that got fired.
Oh, Sage Steele.
No, the other one.
Oh, talking about with the long chin. What's her name?
With the crimson chin.
Yeah, crimson chin. She got pretty ass eyes, though. I have to give her credit.
She got the nice eyes.
Was that's it? Yeah.
Even though she looks like a goddamn demon with those eyes.
She does. She looks like a dude. She does look like a dude.
What's the fuck her name?
Who are you all talking to?
You know, the one that got let go.
Y'all talking about Jamel Hill?
Jamal Hill, yeah.
Jamal Hill.
Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah, that's who we talk about.
It's a mama fault. She got that name.
It is projected. I wonder how they're gonna lose $50 million, man. If they're making, it's supposed to be having record attendance and sponsorships.
You know what? Only women can have records in anything and still lose. It's funny because one, you got a bunch of motherfuckers. Like, if I was in charge of this shit, lower the court, bitch, you better dunk.
You better lower the rim.
Lower the rim. Yeah.
You better lower the rim.
They won't lower the rims.
Yeah, but they're trying to prove they're as good as men. That's what they're trying to prove.
You know what? I've seen this shit as a competitor and coach. The girls would always whine, why does Charles get to do? You know what my coach says? Your black ass bring 4 championships, we can talk.
Mm-hmm.
What about Charles? He brought us 4 championships.
Yeah.
So even as a coach, guess what the girls say? Why are you always so hard on us?
And a bronze medal.
Because you're going to wrestle guys who are 3 times stronger than you naturally. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, lower the rim. We want to prove that we just as good.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna do a scrimmage with the men.
They already have.
You won't even score a fucking point.
They already have. Okay. They've done scrimmages. They've never taped it.
No. Tape the shit.
They won't tape it, man. They will never get out.
They would never release it.
I would tape the fuck out of it. Like, this is why you leave.
Not if you want to keep your job.
Nah. Yeah. It would
I
never
remember
sacrifices have to be made.
All right.
I remember something like this. It was down in Australia. It was the women's soccer team, the national soccer team, talking about they were better than men. So they took on the men's junior under 15 team, and the under 15 boys.
Yeah.
They ran them ragged, 15-0.
15-0. Yeah.
Grown ass women got done by 15 and 14-year-old boys.
What is so impressive of a grown ass woman in athletics? That what a man can't do over fucking, like, listen.
OPW, either get on the panel or be quiet, okay? Stop spamming my chat, okay? You want to talk about her, then get on the panel, okay?
Listen, there ain't no fucking woman who has ever done anything athletically that a man could not or have not done, okay?
Yeah. I mean, and women can actually...
I'm going to say this real quick. the greatest female athlete is like the bottom 30 male athlete.
Well,
Oh,
I'll point out,
probably the bottom 300, but yeah, who's
yeah.
kind
Well, I'll point out there's two areas that women
30%.
can actually beat men at, and it's because of biology, and it's like long distance swimming,
yeah.
and very specific long distance running. And the swimming is because they have a lot of fat around their hips, so they can float in the water better. And the running is because they have a lot of fat around their bodies, so they can run a lot longer. Like they don't. And outside of that, so when I was an RA in college, I would go down to the rec hall and see a lot of the men's and women's basketball teams. They play together. They'd scrimmage, and and they play, and it would be somewhat competitive. And then when the women would leave, because they're not going to play full, couple hours, but the men would turn it up to where they needed to play to be competitive, and that would be a whole different type of game. And that's what you see, like, oh, these women really can't compete like that.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit different, Jules. I've been coached different. I was coached by a nigga named Larry Brown. His philosophy: make that motherfucker wish they never stepped on your man.
Yeah.
You give me a motherfucking female at 100 pounds on my fucking, I will destroy you.
I mean, as far as wrestling, absolutely.
I would destroy you. I remember she would not name try to come out of pocket and say something to me. Most of the time, I can laugh the shit off and be pretty gentlemanly about it. But you know what? You wanted nigga me, so you're gonna get the full nigga. All darkness.
All right, let's go with it, nigga me. Stop beating around the bush.
I mean, like, biologically, women stop being able to compete against men around what, age 12, 13? And there's usually
about 10.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that
about
preteen,
10, 11 years old, yeah.
Yeah, because the hormones kick in.
Yeah.
Right. And but there's usually like 1 out of like 10,000 women who could like keep up, and then but that woman, you know her name, but it's not like she's gonna dominate against the men. She can just keep up.
Against the average guys.
Keep up.
No, I mean not average guys, but like
average guys. Average
guys.
She can beat average guys. Yeah.
He ain't keep. See, this is the
is
the false. It's. Have you ever worked out with women? I mean, when they seriously work out.
Yeah.
And they're trying their hardest and their damnedest. When she who not be named was squatting like about. She could bench at 160 pounds. She could bench 265.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, for a woman.
That's pretty good for her.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
265 would not even be my warm up.
Yeah.
315 is my warm up. And it was funny because she thought that she could compete with me.
Yeah.
Damn, Charles.
Because you can compete with the average guy.
No.
I am not.
We didn't say you were. Well,
no, that's what I told. I'm not saying that you didn't, BGS. That's what I told her. I'm like this. I'm being nice. Like your workouts won't even make me sweat. They would actually irritate. And this is the part about sports. It's like, yo, you dumb motherfuckers are the same motherfuckers that said a woman is a woman, whether she's born or created. And guess what? You allowed a motherfucker who sucked against men dominate against you. Now it's not fair because your little baby sweet ain't.
Exactly. Which we knew would happen. Okay. Which is why the rules are there.
Shout out to Joanna, man.
Yeah. That's why. Let it go downhill. They'll stop. Okay. They always do. Never fails. Y'all jump in if y'all want to discuss something because we only got maybe 30 minutes.
Just like, when people complain about with Jules, whenever the women competed with the men, was it always shirts and skins and the women always had to be shirts?
And that would normally be the case. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
you're not gonna see a woman run up there trying to put a layup up with some titties flopping about. That's just not gonna be,
nah.
That's not happening like that.
Like, yo, call the foul, ref. Uppercut.
Yeah.
The first thing they try to do with the women is try to bang against you like they're men. And then when you bang back, shut the fuck up.
Yep.
That is
cannot take it.
That is the funny try to be physical in a sport, and it's like your kid brother, like especially if you have significant years, like your little cousin or your nephew growing up, and they think they're doing something, but it's like you're kind of faking it to make them feel good about themselves until they piss you off and you show them, yeah, there's levels to this shit, motherfucker.
Who remembers the basketball game in the longest yard between Adam Sandler and Michael Irvin?
I don't
You don't remember the longest yard?
I remember the longest yard. Yeah, well, okay, I remember it.
Adam Sandler.
It's called Movies.
Yeah, that movie. The movie, yeah, it's called The Longest Yard.
Yeah. Adam
And how,
Sandler is not an athlete.
That's what she said.
I've heard Adam Sandler holds a regular basketball game, and I mean, he's an old man now. He's like 55, 60, but like when he was younger, he was pretty competitive when it comes to basketball.
Yeah. Competitive and being an athlete are two different things.
Yeah.
Kevin James wrestled in both college and high school, and also played football. In fact, Charles, do you remember who Kevin James went to high school with and was on the same wrestling team with?
Mick Foley.
Mick Foley. Have a nice day. That's it.
I'm gonna. It's kind of funny. It's like a lot of people when they talk about competitive.
Yeah. Well, Burt Reynolds was actually. Terrell Bentley mentioned Burt Reynolds. He played.
He was
a running back for FSU or Florida State.
Florida.
Back in the day.
Florida State.
Oh, Florida State. Okay.
In the league for a little bit.
Yeah, was he a corner or was he a safety?
I want to say he was a running back or a halfback.
He was
white guys used to do that.
Okay.
He was a running back.
He's running back. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
who else?
I want to see. You never even hear this shit because I noticed all that shit with Clarissa Shields died down very quickly when that video came out.
Which one?
When she got put on her ass.
Oh.
Sandler can ball, but he's known for it. But the thing is, there's difference between going against a world-class athlete, okay, and
that's true.
a regular guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Can ball means he's at Rucker Park dunking, okay? Is he that guy?
There's only been like one.
It's not the N1 tour.
Yeah.
It's not the N1 tour.
It's not the N1 tour. No, it's not. There's a difference.
Oh, I remember those tapes. That was wild.
It's like, how can I describe it? It's like getting in a fight in the street.
Uh-oh.
But it's like getting in a fight with somebody who's like a Vesto Hoos. And you throwing all the punches and whatever you want to do, and he's just blocking them. He's not even throwing back yet. He's just blocking them. 45 seconds later, your dog ass tired. And this motherfucker squares up with you and he whispers to you, the real fights begin now.
The real fights begin now. The real fights begin now.
Like,
need that Dutch accent, fool.
Two people you don't want to fight. A fucking collegiate wrestler and a Dutch kickboxer. You're going to get your ass kicked.
Shout out to Alistair Overeem.
I mean, piping hot out the fucking oven kick. Oh my God. For some reason,
Henry Hoof. Ooh.
I want to ask a question. When I actually have a stream on my other channel, I get a whole bunch of people talking shit. Okay, but the thing is, when it's over here and when it's open, where are they?
I'm gonna answer. You want me to answer your question, good sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to answer your question the best way I know how, my Faulknerisms. Number one, your other channel is the Pride and Joy. That's your engraved...
The crown jewel.
That's your crown jewel. That's your engraved, passed-down shotgun that you got clean.
Mm-hmm.
This channel is your MAC-10 that you bought off a drug dealer.
the one I can toss into the storm drain.
That's the dirty heat.
That's the throwaway, huh?
That's the toad, the throwaway, fuck this shit. We going to big shit. This the old stiletto, We doing some sharks and some jets type shit over here. And it's funny because now let it be. It's kind of crazy because I follow a lot of people who have disagreements. I don't mind people disagreeing with BGS. Hell, there's times when me and BGS don't agree.
Oh, yeah.
And because according to people like dumbass Gay Babe, fuck you Gay Babe for life, you goofy looking veneer having motherfucker, I hope you hear what me say.
I was a bully in school. Well, shit.
You were getting bullied, you swirly drinking motherfucker. Like, dude, you look like you got slapped by Girl Scouts, you ugly bitch. Like for real. Like
Anyway,
I remember when I was like in North Carolina talking to him on Kev's channel, and he really, I said, since you want the nigga me, you gonna get the nigga me. Fuck you. Why you here, bitch? He's like, but that could be no. Fuck you. Why you here, bitch? Fuck you. Why you here? That's the only response I give him. Fuck you. And you know what he did? He took his bitch ass off the channel. And I'm like, this is the part that I don't get.
Look at fast forward to this is the Weebay channel.
I mean, you got to realize it is that there's a reason why when Clark took his glasses off, shit was about to get done. And it's sad because when you have a free for all, when you have some discord, when you have some decorum, that's when niggas want to do it because they know you're gonna hold back. You see that uniform Lewis had when he was a youngin' in the Corps? That's your dress uniform. So you're not gonna try to get it all scuffy and dirty. How many of you wanna fight a fucking Marine in his BDUs?
Ooh. Or like that clip you showed of those two Army soldiers, those two soldiers, just doing hand-to-hand combat in their dress uniforms at one time. I remember that clip, man.
That was the FOI.
Yeah, I was like, y'all better hey, y'all better switch up. All right, we don't need y'all making a fool up in here in the mess hall.
Like, you got to think about it. What happens when you see me when I got my BDUs on and I got my boots tied tight, laces tucked inside the boot?
Oh shit. Okay.
That's when shit's about to hit the fan.
What it is. I got my BDUs on. I got my 210 rounds. I got my laces tied tight. We got my grenades. We got smoke. Let's go. Where are you? And this is the part where, hey, we could meet in the alley. Come on. Get your lead pipe. Get your stiletto. Get your little dirty heat. I know you're going to carry it. What happened?
What happened?
It's like
what happened
when the Padawan was downtown Baltimore a year ago, and he was talking to some girl. The girl boyfriend come up out of nowhere. He tried to leave respectfully, leave. Dude try to follow him in the alley. So dude was like, "Yeah, we can fight." So he put his hands up, and dude was trying to pull up his shirt, and the Padawan was quick on the draw with his shit. And he was like, "Why you gonna pull your gun, nigga? I can see the butt of the gun in your pants. Why you complaining now? Oh, you don't like it because now you don't have an advantage. I'm not being professional. I'm not having decorum. And I'm really getting to the point where if niggas really want to have some whatever they want to say, because if you hear me on any channel, if you got a disagreement with BGS, hey. It's cool. Men disagree. You're supposed to at some point. Talk about it. That's my shit. But when you have the opportunities to talk about it, all I tell people is don't bitch up. Whether if it's
by the way, go ahead.
And I know people are going to try to, and I'm going to put this disclaimer out. People are going to clip that and say, "Oh, but you said this to be." Did I say anybody BGS? Don't bitch up?
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Charles, the problem is some of these guys ain't had no fights when they were growing up. So they don't really know how, when you've had to fight or at least have to deal with men on a physical level to some degree of regularity, it's going to moderate your tone with respect to how you treat other men, even in a virtual space. I'm always surprised at how quickly brothers start calling each other bitches and stuff like that, because where I grew up at, when you say certain things about a man, it's time for somebody to catch a flight, right? So sometimes I don't understand how quickly things get to this, you bitch ass nigga, because I'm like, that's not how men comport themselves to me.
Let me put it to you this here, Uber. I had there was a troll. You know who it is. And I tried to tell him, like, look, say what you want about BGS. BGS is a man. He could do his shoes. Now you bring in family in it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I made a call to a friend and told him the numbers of his address,
Mm-hmm.
shit pipes down because shit got real. And then he
Yeah.
started looking me up, and I'm like, what you looking up? Everything's true.
Mm-hmm.
You might find out some more shit that you probably don't want to know. It's like, what
That's a
happens?
scary thought.
What happens when you actually find that motherfucker who will catch a flight or drive or catch a train or
even make a phone call?
Yeah. That's the part people don't know. Some folks can make a phone call.
Yeah. What did Trump say in that one interview when he was president? When he was the sitting president to the dude of the Taliban. You know what he did? He didn't tell him anything. He just showed him pictures of his child and his wife leaving for school of his front door. You know what the response was? Yes, Your Excellency. Because once you show proof of what I am willing to do, and I am willing to live with that decision, shit gets quiet real quick. But go ahead, Lewis.
I know who you talking about. You say you found his address, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this in the Bay Area?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I did my own research too. I was just making sure.
And it's funny because, like I told him, I said, I tell people, look, the way I've been raised in Baltimore, we don't do rematches. Read between the lines. If you come at me with enough force, I'm gonna tell you, like, look, motherfuckers will, everywhere I go, people will call my old district, my old unit here, that. Tell me about this guy. Oh, for real? Oh, shit. Yeah. There's a bit of a psychopath. It's necessary. And I'm pretty sure everybody has it, but,
Mm-hmm.
when it's like Uber said, there's certain shit that you couldn't say to men of a certain time until you had to prove your shit. And I think the internet has made a lot of brave men. Guess what? If BGS says something wrong, guess what? BGS gotta check that.
Mm-hmm.
And BGS is not the type of guy to say, no, I can't. No, he's gonna apologize. He'd be like, well, damn, you were right.
Yeah.
And this is sorry.
And the recipient of that, when he was like, God damn, Charles, I don't like what you said, but shit, you right.
Yeah. Yeah. We just had it with the shooting with the airmen, which we figured the DOD would step in and do something, and they compromised. So
yeah, because the DOD, they literally just said, okay, they really didn't fire him. They just let him go. They probably gave him retirement. They just said fire for the thing.
Yeah.
But the shooting was a good shooting. He's not getting criminally charged.
Yeah. They and it didn't go to the grand jury. So it's got.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like it,
But you probably knew it would happen.
Yeah.
Because he was an airman.
It's already difficult to get young people to join and some shit like that. But at the same time, I would love to be in these training facilities or talking to the commanders. I would just want to talk to your 25 and under soldiers or airmen or Marines or SEAL. It'd be like, look, I was there. Like, it's fight week in Baltimore. Talking to my boy Josh, Josh. Low flying fucking F-15s and shit giving me flashbacks. It's funny because, a lot of people don't know how it sounds when a fucking hypersonic fucking airplane goes through your downtown area. But I saw a couple of sailors, thank you for your service. And I told them I was there in your shoes 20 plus years ago. And they were like, no, thank you for your service. We know what the fuck you had to deal with. I said, yeah, what's coming down the pipe? You ain't too far away from either.
I can imagine what you meant about the plane, Charles. I would actually.
Oh yeah, and it's because once you hear that plane in war, it's a very irritating sound. And
Hey, I mean, me personally, I mean, as a kid, this is early '90s, you know, and we were hearing F-15s fly over all the time, you know, because they were heading over to Iraq for the no to maintain the no-fly zone and shit.
yeah,
So yeah,
and it's
this is
crazy.
early '90s, but I'm talking about, folks.
Yeah, that's the Gulf War time, and it's crazy because you know, and I'm going to say this because I this is the platform. I know you got more viewers. And I'm going to do a show about this because I got a lot more free time and I got a lot more to say off my chest.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the identity of the manosphere is ever evolving. I said this on Kev's channel.
Uh-huh.
If it never evolved, we would not be at the status that we are now.
True.
Once the government and this list and all this other bullshit, trust me, I've been on so many lists, it does not matter to me. I'm watched. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's be a veteran and you'll know what I'm talking about. You got to understand.
Your theme song should be Rockwell's Who's Watching.
Especially you have a particular set of skills.
Yeah, you know.
Mm.
Especially washing clothes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Know how to iron.
Nah, yeah. Polish that brass, yeah.
Yeah, polish. And it's funny because everybody wants to be the winner of the rap race and forget that you become the #1 rap. Identity politics plays a part even in our sphere. And niggas don't want to talk the truth. Look, right now, the intellectuals came in to verify everything we said on an academic level.
Mm-hmm.
The next phase is the politicians.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get the politicians being spoken to by academia or the intelligentsia, if we're going to go Polish, now you can acquire, what's that word with the P? It's called power.
Yes, indeed.
And I've always said, Buddha once said, there's many lights that lead to the same path. Choose yours. And I've always said this, like I've said on Kev's, and BGS know that I could call him damn near almost any time of the day.
And you have.
I have.
Right in the middle. Right in the middle of Costco. What's up, Charles?
Little Costco.
We getting brioche buns at a time, MDJS?
Actually getting
chili dogs.
Chili. Actually, it was getting my hot dogs and getting my.
Did you get those brioche hot dog rolls?
Not in Costco. I got to find a store that has them.
We've been empty for 10 days. We can't even get it.
Yeah, well, right after Father's Day, right?
Oh yeah.
Got to get them.
And it's the same thing with Lewis. Lewis asked me. Same thing with Bay. Hey, you got a moment? Or I got to call them. You got a moment? And there's times where men can talk to men offline. You solve so much shit, but I understand because we're black and we love drama. I know people get offended. Everything offends everybody. I get it. Things offend me. And I said this on Kev's show. I don't give a fuck who it is. Do you want to see better? Do you want the betterment of black men and black boys? See, it's like the same thing back in the day in the real conscious community, which I was in the last remnants of. You're gonna have a difference of opinion because two people are not always gonna 100% agree. It's just our nature. But what is your mission? Everybody, EGS is part of it, and so is Uber. Challenge me right now if I say you're gonna be questioned. Show me your work.
Show me. Yeah, they said that right up front. Yeah.
Where did you volunteer? Am I lying, folks?
That's true.
Which camp
did you come out of?
Which camp?
Who's your teacher? You know,
Did
Well,
you come out? Did you come out the? Did you come out the FOI? Did you come out the Baptist Church?
yeah.
Who was your teacher? Where
Who's
did
your
you
teacher?
learn?
Where'd you learn it from? Yeah.
What movements were you a part of? What
Mhm.
groups?
Who are you connected to?
Who you connected? Who's
Mhm.
and what I tell people is this, and it scared some guys in the police department when they saw the FOI shake my hand at AFRAM
Mhm.
because I've done work with them when it comes to getting uniforms and warm ups for my wrestlers,
Mhm.
and they love what I do. And you'd be surprised how many motherfuckers I know and
Mhm.
don't even say their names. And they were like, you know what? We took pictures with them. I'm in uniform, and we were at AFRAM. They were like, the guy was like, why are you taking pictures with? I was like, let me ask you this question: how many cops would have gave me uniforms for 20 wrestlers?
Yeah.
Well, you never. I said, how many motherfuckers could I ask of them and give me 20? How many of them paid for tournaments? Guess who my loyalties are gonna lie? And that goes to show, look, you got a disagreement with somebody. I'm always in the camp of the three ways men communicate. We yell it out, we talk it out, or we fight it out, and we're gonna go get drinks and we're gonna be friends again.
Mhm.
So I really think a lot of this shit that boils down to it is that, look, feelings are gonna get hurt. Everybody has emotions, but we can't be emotional. Talk it out, yell it out, fight it out, get over it.
Mhm.
It's not that deep. But go ahead.
Yeah, we
But
got about
when you
20
don't
more minutes,
grow up,
guys. Yeah, go ahead, Uber.
well, I mean, when you don't grow up wrestling, boxing, racing, when you don't grow up competing, then
Mhm.
you don't learn how to ride the ebbs and flows of winning and losing,
Mhm.
and then commiserating with the person who beat you or commiserating with the person who you beat. You know, you don't learn to accept defeat or be graciously victorious. So you harbor these emotions, these sort of unresolved um, emotions that men have who've not played out all of the facets of masculinity. They don't compete against each other. They haven't fought with each other. They haven't raced each other. They haven't lost, maybe haven't even lost women to each other, or maybe in some cases taken women from each other. They
Mhm.
don't know how to compete as men. So then they get online and things get a little rough or there's a disagreement. And then they go to these extremes of just saying the craziest stuff. It's like playing a video game and then it goes a certain way and then you start yelling at Super Mario or whatever the hell you got
Yeah,
to play with.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like I'll actually bring up the person. When Marcus said it right. When people were talking about, oh, you out with this porn star, and he was right to say this. How many of you motherfuckers could be around this bitch?
Mhm. Yeah.
How many of you motherfuckers can? How many? Boy, y'all gonna make me do a fucking holy jihad tomorrow, just because I can, because I have time to do it. And I mean, I'm gonna go to the back to what I said a couple of years back. A lot of niggas in this space, or black people, period, have never had a bitch lust after them. And I think that there's a lot of developmental issues with a lot of people.
Mhm.
That's why I always come to you and say, I can't believe a lot of these dudes don't know women.
They don't. Yeah.
They don't know the nature of women. A woman, I want y'all to write this down in the chat, somebody. Please be a scribe. A woman can love your dirty drawers. She can love you with all her heart and still marry a man that got more money and that's better than you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you do the same. So.
And guess what? Her
Yeah.
survival takes precedence over the love for you any
Mhm.
day of the week.
Yeah.
And until you can live with that, That's real man shit,
Oh,
right?
you live with your woman can love your dirty jaws and still cheat on you too.
Yeah.
And still come back home. So
And kiss you with the fucking stabby dick that she just had.
hopefully she brushes her teeth and gargles before you
At
touch
least.
it. Yeah, at least.
Or
Yeah.
at least use a condom when she blew him. Which is even safer. But anyway, I just gotta head out. I'm going to the grocery store, so I just gotta ask y'all. Y'all need anything? Y'all need me to get y'all anything or something?
Bring those buns.
I already picked up the cigars and liquor. It's in the refrigerator.
Oh,
All right.
okay. So
we got about
Brioche buns.
Yeah.
Black Root, you anything?
Just give me some blueberry. Yeah.
So what?
Black Uber. Black Uber.
Okay.
Oh, they got good ones at where he's at. So.
Well, you know, Black
Glow
Uber.
bar.
It's summertime.
Yeah, esta gente dañó Glow bar.
Blueberry.
All right, catch y'all later.
Well, you
all right, we got about 5 minutes, guys.
You know,
Can I
Black,
add something?
Well,
Black
to
Uber
be
Black
time.
Uber
be
is just
fair
a
to
Chicago
women.
nigga. He's a bougie Chicago nigga from the hood.
He
You
is.
gotta love him.
Right.
He married into
pretty much
bouginess.
a good
He wasn't. He didn't start out being bougie. He got married into bougie.
No, not at all. Not at all. I definitely came up, so to speak.
Well, go ahead, Boomer. What you gonna say?
The first
Well, I was just gonna say if you understand and it's difficult for us as men to visualize it, but imagine how you would respond if you came into a world and half of the people in the world were bigger, stronger, faster than you were, were more resourceful than you, just by virtue of biology, not by anything that they've done, but just by virtue of birth.
Yeah.
How would you, in order to survive in that environment, what would you do? You probably would have to be somewhat treacherous, right?
A little bit, yeah.
You
look at the anime
would.
Black. Look at the anime Black Clover. Everybody's born with magic, except for fucking this one guy. But for some odd reason, his greatest weakness became his strength. This motherfucker got a sword that negates and reflects magic. And nobody else could pick up his sword because that sword would drain the natural magic from the people, and he's the only motherfucker that can use it. You're gonna be rude. You know what he did? He trained his body, his speed, his reaction, his toughness, his endurance, past the pinnacles of human. That's what you call being ruthless. See, people don't understand Black Uber. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ruthlessness is not a negative thing. Ruthlessness is actually part of evolutionary defiance.
Well,
again,
what I was saying is that much of the behavior of women is a consequence of the inherent disadvantages they have to men in the tangible world. It will provoke a level. You use the term ruthlessness. It will provoke to some degree a level of ruthlessness in them that we may not necessarily possess or know. BGS, you said something.
It's got to be trained out of us.
Right. Well, you said something that, and I don't know if the younger men have really paid attention to the implications of it, but you said that every girl at a certain age, very young in her life, realizes right away where she ranks.
Yeah.
In terms of, now we don't know that, or our level, we compete, whether it's sports or whatever. We don't think of our whole thing being sort of summed up as to how pretty we are. Just imagine the implications of that. I'm going to be the almost the sum total, or most of my value is going to be how people perceive me, not just me, but in particular in my relationship to all the other females around.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to start very early. It's going to worsen as I get older, as we begin to physically develop, and certain parts of our body become much more distinguished or less distinguished versus others. And I have no decision making at all about it whatsoever, absent any artificial
Yeah,
influence.
yeah,
Right?
you had to work with what you've been given. You know,
Right.
men have to do the
Imagine,
same thing. Men have to do the same thing.
imagine how you might be thinking and behave if your life was circumscribed in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's called being Batman, and you got to be on the Justice League. Wait a minute. These motherfuckers.
I mean, basically, men and women have a pecking order. Okay, women's are just different than ours. That's all.
Theirs is physical beauty.
But the difference is we have more avenues to influence our positioning in the pecking order than they do.
Not really. I mean, you know, the attitude, sex, all that kind of stuff that goes along with it, right?
Well, the difference is
I'm saying I could invent something.
Yeah.
Or I could become a great basketball player, or hedge fund. There's so many things that I can do to manipulate the status quo as a man if I'm particularly aggressive, particularly ruthless, or especially lucky in some cases.
And
women have fewer opportunities to do that.
Well, because women can fight and die just like men can, but the thing is, that's not the way that the society's set up. They have to be protected because they have wombs. Okay.
Well, I gotta say this.
And we got about 5 minutes.
I'll agree with Uber, not too much because we're men, but here's the advantageous. We use big words over here. Here's the advantageous part about it for men. Men have the ability to know this one word that women fail to time immemorial to do. It's called contentment. I'm content.
Yeah.
I don't look for happiness. I look for content. Even I'll put it. I'll give you a short view of what my mind went through when I competed in wrestling, boxing, and MMA. This guy, most likely, he's probably stronger than me, and people will look at me when I tell my teammates will look at me stunned. Somebody stronger than you? You would admit that? No, nobody's strong. Nigga, there are people stronger than me. Okay, let's be in reality. What that freed me up from narcissistic, views is that it opened me up to reality. I didn't wallow in the obsolescence of thinking that I had some type of advantage. I went to my other toolboxes. Women can't do that. You know why? Because if women actually said, I may not be this pretty, but I have other characteristics that will put me over, think about it. I'm nicer. I'm fitter. I can do all these things to please a man. No, they wallow in their obsolescence. They become obsolete very quickly.
Charles, they used to do it.
Yes,
look, there's a reason why you all have famously heard the song. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife.
Yeah, that's true.
That song was ugly and fat women competing. That was the point of that song.
I've actually said this on my channel over. I said, it's sad. Back in the 80s when I was a kid, you saw so many big women married. You know why? Because she would go to the local mechanic shop, she would go to the bus driver, and guess what she would do? She would use the advantage that she would have.
Yeah.
She could cook her ass off, and she knew that motherfucker was hungry.
Yeah.
Motherfucker would throw away that fucking bologna sandwich for a full-course meal.
And she's cooperative, whereas pretty women aren't necessarily are all the time, especially black women. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah.
Cooperative, they make those? Where's
not in the quantities that they used to, at least not black ones. Okay?
That's like the 79 Novas, motherfucker.
Unless you're lucky enough to get one of Uru's daughters,
Hey, Uru,
but they're in short supply.
Well, yeah, one is
still left.
I'm still working on a younger one, but one is.
Hey, Uru, just let it know.
Thank God. I thank God for him. Pray for him every day.
You know, Uber be like, not that. You know, Uber be like, not that.
How you doing, man? Everything okay? You need anything?
You need anything?
Hey, Uber,
hey,
no.
you better keep him, okay?
Like Uber,
Yeah.
just let her know I got benefits. Shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
A lot of my exes, man, the family said the same thing. What you do to make him drive him off? You should have kept him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, where's my girl? Because it's about time.
Good evening. Your time now is 10:52. I'm Jeanette Reyes. We told you at 7:52. I don't want to hold you. We told you at 8:52. Don't let me keep you. This just into our newsroom. You are not obligated to go to your place of residence as your final destination, but it certainly cannot be here.
All right, folks. Closing thoughts.
That's a fine bitch right there. God.
Ooh, isn't she though? She is a fine bitch, man.
Damn.
And her mama keep her in check too.
Said he set up like like a new fucking batch of prize for the girl side to talk to him.
And her mama keep her in check, keep that attitude in check. Her mama call her girl. You better get your attitude straight.
And that's you know what, mama's a good woman for that. Glad to know you gonna lose your man.
All right, closing thoughts, folks, and we're out of here.
Another classic. Woo! How to hit the showers. Hit the music.
Be good to others, but first and foremost, be good to yourself.
Oh yeah. All right, good people. Till next time. Where is he at? Hey, come on. There he is.